In a world full of film and TV news,
This just in.
Breaking news for you now.
Gotta interrupt you here. We have some breaking news.
To another story that is breaking overnight.
3 men have joined forces to bring you
All right, so welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Cut. This week we are first off, always forget to introduce. We have Connor with us again.
Hello.
And Brad.
Thanking you, Craig.
And myself, Craig. And this week we're doing all sorts of usual news. We've got a new game that Brad's going to start us with in a minute.
Love it.
We've got some trailers that have come out, Venom, amongst others. And the big one today is going to be the Suicide Squad review. So,
non-spoiler, I know it's like literally barely out in most places. We've got lucky UK.
Yeah.
So non-spoilers, we're not going to ruin it.
Yeah.
As well as spoilers.
Yeah. As well, just remember to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Weekly Cut and YouTube as well. But let's just start with the game then.
He nailed it. Nailed the intro. He's having a drink. right. Okay, so as always, we just to get the brains moving, we're going to have a little game pitting Connor against Craig. Connor is smashing it at the minute.
Yeah.
He destroyed me in the guess the theme songs or guess the songs from the films. Yep. And he, against all odds, beat Craig in the quiz for truth, lies, etc.
Yes, yeah.
So this one is heavily in Craig's favour. Only because we know, obviously, you both know your stuff in TV and film, but this is the MCU box office rankings film order global take.
Oh, dear.
Okay?
Ooh.
And the way I'm going to play this, Connor will be starting.
Okay.
And obviously there's some obvious ones at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then you have got no lives. If you get one wrong in my order that I've got here, it's Forbes, by the way, so don't come at me, come at Forbes. And as soon as you get one wrong and you don't get it right in my list, it goes over to Craig and he goes until he loses, and then you go, etc., etc.
I'm going to wobble at the first one. I'm not sure which one it is.
So, yeah, but how does this game end? Who wins?
So obviously it goes
Who gets to number 23?
Whoever's got the most points after 23.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically you need to hit a roll.
Yeah, okay.
And there's certain moments where you have to take your chance because there's some one-time surprises.
Yeah.
So right, I'm going to start right off. You can't see, just to
No,
clarify for the adjudicator. Thanks for coming again, Mum. And so we're going to start off. What in global take? Remember, box office. What took the most in the MCU?
See, I'm torn between the two, but I'm going to say Endgame.
It was Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1-0, Connor. Next, you go again.
Infinity War.
Yep.
What's after that? Civil War.
Nope. So this is what I mean. So now you've lost it. Now the power goes over to Mr. Craig.
Thanks for playing.
This is hard. It is Age of Ultron.
It's not. No. The power goes back to Connor.
The Avengers.
It is indeed.
Yes. Next, I'm going to go for Civil War.
It's not.
Now it's Age of Ultron.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
I should have known that.
Okay, and after that is Black Panther.
Outstanding,
Yeah,
Craig.
very good.
Outstanding. Yes.
Then
3-2, by the way. So Craig, you need to know.
I think it is torn between two. I'm going to go with Civil War this time.
It's not.
No, I know what it is.
Is it the first Spider-Man?
I'm not going to tell you. So
Spider-Man.
no, it's not.
Iron Man 3.
It is indeed.
And that's roughly around about.
You going to say it again?
So that
It's currently 3-3, by the way.
I think the next one's a surprise, and it's Captain Marvel.
No. Nah.
I'm going to go for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Useless.
And now I'm going to do Civil War then.
It is indeed. Still you, Craig. You're winning now.
Okay,
You swung it 4-3.
Because I know there's a few surprises, and I know it's Captain Marvel.
It is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite surprising, that one.
5-3.
And then I think it is a Homecoming.
No.
Ow.
For Ragnarok.
Far From Home.
It is indeed.
Oh,
Still you, Craig.
Oh yeah. So now we must be just over the billion mark. Oh, Homecoming.
It is, yep.
can we go back to soundtracks?
No, I like this one. Now this gets a bit ropey because they're just like This must be under a billion.
These ones, I was confident in what yous had, and then I got to this, and I would have, if I weren't reading it, I would have struggled. Big time.
I think the next one I'm actually going to go with.
So you've just had Far From Home and then Homecoming.
Ragnarok.
It is indeed.
Okay. Then, God, now these are just. These are under the $1 billion mark now, so it's all just they are under the billion. The rest of them,
quite a bit now, to be fair. Yeah, still over the $500 million. But yeah, far from the bill.
Oh God, the next one is Winter Soldier.
No, Connor T.
Did I say the Avengers? The first one.
Yeah,
that was gone ages ago. Yeah.
Now I'm going to go for Iron Man 2.
Nah, that's way down. Way down, that one.
Connor's lost.
Should I just sit out?
Yeah. Mum, take him out for a drink. Go,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
What one?
Volume 2.
Yes.
I was going to say that and all.
Well, you didn't.
I know.
Then I'm going to go with, God, what is left? It's getting a bit of a shit show now, isn't it? Guardians 1.
Yes.
Then Ant-Man and Wasp ain't up there. Can't be. I'm going to go with Winter Soldier this time.
Yep.
I don't think I can physically win now, can I?
I think the game is over.
Let me just see. So Winter Soldier. Now this is just like
you go until you lose. Now go until you foul. Right. Sorry, Con.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm going to foul. I'm going to foul this next one because the rest are just. I'm going to do Ant-Man and Wasp.
It is not.
How you lose, I win. Yeah.
Go on.
So the remaining ones following Captain America and the Soldier, which took home, according to Forbes, 714 million.
Can we, before you get down to the end, can we just guess which is the worst one?
Yeah, go on for a bonus point.
I don't actually know. I have an idea.
I'm going to say Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think it's Incredible Hulk. No, yes.
Oh no! I celebrated too early for him. It is Incredible Hulk.
All right, okay.
So after Winter Soldier, you had Doctor Strange, followed by The Dark World, surprisingly.
What's that doing up there?
Yeah. Then you had Ant-Man and the Wasp, followed by Iron Man 2, followed by Iron Man 1. Ant-Man, before, even after that, for 519. And then Thor 1, Captain America, the First Avenger, and then way down at the bottom, Incredible Hulk, as Craig got right. So that's the game, and well done, Craig.
Well done.
It was favoured in me.
It was.
I have looked at them before as well. Not recently. I have looked at them.
I mean, just look around this room.
Yeah.
Well, they can't.
Stacked against me.
It was stacked against you. Yeah. But yeah, ready for news.
Nothing in this room. All right, let's start off with Marvel. And as with every week, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, wait.
News. Connor didn't want that edit. Connor did not want the edit.
So, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Still no trailer, obviously. They did put out a really annoying teaser of sorts, which it blew up. Thousands of views for us as well, and as well as everywhere else. But it was Sony just being cheeky little monkeys, weren't they?
Cheeky
monkeys.
And they basically just put out a little teaser saying, before you see Spider-Man No Way Home, watch the other two. And just had a little mix-up of trailers of both Homecoming and Far From Home.
Yeah.
That's cheeky.
That's a big,
very cheeky.
Big LOL.
That was them just laughing.
Yeah, so it is a bit nasty. If I'm totally honest with you.
It is.
I mean, I think all of us now, as much as we are so desperate for it, it's getting a little bit tiresome.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it is.
I'm not one of them like toxic fans, but that is a little bit, that's not bants. That's not jokey. That is, you're being cruel.
That was them taking the piss.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, like, even we mentioned it last week, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine little teaser before the trailer, which we'll get onto in a bit, was very much, you still haven't got the Spider-Man trailer. Yeah. Here's like a little mock-up almost.
Everyone's aware.
Yeah. And so it's them being cheeky boys. Yeah. But will we get one soon? Who knows? There was rumours about Spider-Man Day, which was on Sunday, August 1st. I actually discovered why it's Spider-Man Day. I didn't know.
Oh, what is it? First edition or something?
It was the first, that little canvas I have out there.
Oh, yeah,
That's the first ever appearance to come out on August 1st, 1963, I think it was.
Fair enough.
But anyway, yeah, so we didn't get it then either. We didn't get it on Monday.
Scary.
It's now Tuesday. So, but however, this is now being hampered by the fact that are we going to see a pushback and it not actually released in December?
Yeah.
It's seeming a little bit likely. But do you know what I read the other day is they said it's mostly going to depend on... It's mostly going to depend
Someone's having a weekly shop. Worst timing for the neighbour there, if they can hear that. Sorry, anyone.
It's mostly going to depend on Bond's release and how that goes, because that's coming out end of October. Right. Sony as well. So if that stays and does well, it seems like that's what's going to But I don't think you can't wait till October to release a trailer.
No.
You can't. Not 2 months
Because
before.
even another thing that was worrying, obviously we spoke about it in the chat, was it Sony, about their take on COVID, this Delta variant, is they're quite worried about it because what did I put in the other day? It was like, no, all their working from home is carrying on. No one's allowed back in the offices, like their sort of working arrangements. And also people have spotted that the Venom trailer, Sony as well, had this fall. And they got rid of the September 24.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So it's still scheduled. So it is still scheduled for September 24. I tweeted it and put the film is. So it's still that on every schedule. But everyone, like Daniel Richmond and stuff, said that is very worrying that they've put this full.
Yeah.
So we'll have to set that Sony again. So they're obviously biding their time, as we guessed.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing it's gonna have to go on Venom and Bond's performance.
Yeah,
at
you're
box
bang on.
office.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll release Bond if Venom does rubbish, because Bond is there.
Bond
Sony
is
and
gonna
MGM's, that's the
Bond's
billion
gonna make
dollar thing that Venom's not going to... I don't think it's going to make $1 billion.
No, to be fair, not in this climate. I mean, it made 850, didn't it?
Yeah,
the first one. But you're right.
But no films
Bond is
going
to beat that, so that's the linchpin.
But Bond and Spider-Man can't fail. Those films will not fail come wind, rain or shine.
They won't. Everyone will go see it. But if you know, America's seem to be making some weird decisions with, Disney's just told everyone to put masks back on and stuff in the theme park. So that's your market. If like the worldwide market compared to domestic is it's tiny. You look at UK cinema takes compared to America. It's just, if everywhere else is open, it's not going to make much of a difference. They need that US pull. They need that.
And if you're take away your fans, because we're big TV and film fans, take that away for a second. Put yourself in the shoes of a corporate man, like the Sony CEO and stuff like that. You know you're not going to lose fans. You're not going to lose viewers by delaying this. You'll get angry people, toxic on the comments, as they always are in some small portions. But you would push this back and look, if I push it, we'll get $1 billion in a month. Like that's how quick this will make $1 billion. It'll be a joke when all theatres are open. So why? That's not even a question to them, is it? Really? We delay it and we get this X amount of money, or we do the fans a favour and bring. I ain't even thinking about that latter option. So hopefully we're wrong, but it's not looking good for a pushback.
It's not. However, and there's a bit more evidence to it as well. That
here we go.
Take a drink.
I thought we had it all.
No.
There's
one more little bit that come out today. So AMC, which is obviously a big cinema chain or theatre chain in America, has removed Spider-Man No Way Home from the coming soon bit. So they was on there before, said December 17th, and it's not now on the coming soon bit. But that doesn't really mean too much.
Still not a good sign, but
it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign, but you can't take that as gospel. No. But some positive news about Spider-Man 3, and this is where I've got to go grab this up. So there's been some new toys. Toys, always a good source of information. So new toys for Spider-Man No Way Home, and there's some descriptions, which is a Hero Blasters. I don't really know what that is.
Hero Blasters?
Yeah, I think they're just like, like kids' web shooter things where they fire.
Porn.
I think these are more Nerf guns. But one of the descriptions is blast your way into another universe with it. So more details on that. Another thing for 12-inch action figure.
God, this is very blast your way.
It's a 12-inch. I mean, I'm not reading the full titles of these, by the way, but Spider-Man No Way Home 12-inch action figure wave 1.
Right.
It says explore the multiverse with Spider-Man. So, here we go. Another one here. It's a 6-inch for the more subtle woman.
More realistic.
The more subtle woman. Swinging to terror with Spider-Man No Way Home 6-inch action figures with lots of articulation and potentially multiversal consequences. So these are descriptions of figures. So
I don't want to.
I mean, we all know it's happening, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah. But that's the thing. I don't want to bang on about it. But it's just, I know Loki's just happened. It's just such a shame that all these things are happening. And it would have been a much bigger... Don't get me wrong, the trailer's going to break the internet. We know that. But I will have responded better to this trailer, and I'm going to respond great to it. But it's just a shame all these things about the multiverse. That it's like 100% happening now. It would have been so cool if we had the teaser when we were unsure or just fresh off of Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going
even if they... What could have been really clever for them if they attached a trailer at the end of the credits of Loki.
Yeah.
Just pop that in there. They did it... What did they do that before? I can't remember now. They ended up... attached a teaser to an end of a film. I can't remember. Not Marvel, but something else. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, but there has been a set photo that I was unsure whether to post because some people's it was being taken down, some it weren't. But it's basically set photo of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. He's at his little sanctum. Spider-Man's sort of up on the looks like standing on top of a truck or something. But they're greeting each other, or whatever.
Menace.
So we know, damn menace. But yeah, so obviously we knew Doctor Strange is in it anyway, but. It's just more evidence. Just release a trailer, would we? Just give us it. Anyway, we'll get off Spider-Man. There'll be an update next week with still no trailer. But, so the Craven film, which we reported on before, Aaron Taylor Johnson's been cast as the lead, is now looking for Jodie Turner-Smith to play a villain called Calypso. Now...
Lovely lolly.
I know her. Lovely lolly. I know her, but I don't know a lot about this Calypso.
I didn't either, so I had a little look up. She's basically because there's Calypso in X-Men, a mutant version, which is not the same thing. That's what I thought it was. It's not. So basically, she's like a witch doctor sort of person, and she has the ability to basically enhance people, but bring people out from the dead and voodoo, basically a load of voodoo stuff. And in the comics, she's been Craven's like lover, and also she at one time Craven was killed by Spider-Man, and then she puts like hexes on him and goes after him and tries to curse his life and stuff like that. So
you do not want voodoo.
You don't, but it doesn't matter because Spider-Man's not in this anyway. So
fair enough.
It's just another one of them films where Spider-Man's not in. But I don't really know who that is. Who's that Jodie Turner-Smith? Do you know?
Oh, she's what have I watched? She's in. She looks great as well, like a proper like an Amazonian woman. Not to, I know that's quite stereotypical. But yeah. So what have I seen in though? She's very good. Can't remember now. I'm going to scream it in about 2 minutes, so beware for that.
We'll carry on. If you hear something, we'll carry on. Hawkeye has its first little official image released. It wasn't much. Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner just stand next to each other with a couple of bows. I don't know what else we expected, really.
Yeah.
But it has now got a release date of November 24th.
Brilliant.
Which is good, but no one's really that bothered about this anyway, I don't think. But
unless Vincent's back.
Unless that, and to be fair, since Black Widow and, you know, as we said last week, Yelena's obviously going after him. But this does add some serious doubt to Ms. Marvel series. Because they come out only a couple of weeks ago saying, no, they're both coming out in 2021.
Yeah.
There isn't an episode count for this, but let's just say it's 6 weeks. That means that'll put it into either pretty much around New Year's Eve or January already. So if they haven't told us Miss Marvel's coming out before, then it's not probably going to come out after in this year, is it?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to look very cool now because a report come out today saying it will release. It's like 100% near on going to release early 2022.
Yeah, and I wrote it. Yeah, I know.
So you're bang on.
But it makes sense if it's coming out November 24 and it's 6 episodes, say minimum 6 episodes. That puts it at New Year's Eve or first week of January. So,
but everyone was a bit confused because we tweeted it. They're literally the I think you posted on the Instagram. Victoria Alonso, wasn't it? The Marvel exec.
Yeah.
That was only a couple of weeks ago.
So, and then now this new report come out today from other execs saying, 2022.
It's a bit strange.
Stop making errors.
Yeah.
Marvel, please. We used to be. But have you heard what's going on with Ms. Marvel and her powers?
Yes. So there's a promo.
What's going on?
There's a promo image that's come out. Basically, it looks like a back of like an action figure picture of her. Like, so not an actual photo of her, but a picture of like concept art of her.
Yeah.
And she's basically got a glowing fist, but that's not her abilities. And people have already expressed some serious interest into this because she's very stretchy. Basically, she's just a stretch. You know, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
She's just that, but she can do these other things, which are signature powers called Embiggen, where she just gets really big.
Gets big. A bit like that 12-inch toy, you know?
But,
I've heard people say, I read the, I can't remember the people now, the article I read, but they're basically saying that it's like Green Lantern powers, like where she makes constructs of this purple.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought when you said.
No, but that's literally it. Like Craig said, she had this purple. It looks like.
Keep talking about it.
And I think what they're going to do, and what I'm hearing, me and Craig said this. Do you remember we had a chat about.
Oh, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Remember me and Craig had a chat about how hard it is to make Stretch look good in live action.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reports are saying that they think they've done early testing and the CGI don't stretch for the series.
Hey.
No pun intended.
Very good.
And it is so hard to make Stretchy look good.
It would be. Even with technology these days, it still would look crap.
So, mate, I don't know. And then there was other people saying that the powers are going to be too diverse compared to Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel, so they're going to try and give her more thingy powers. But I think it's the stretchy thing.
Yeah. I do. It could be because I saw someone. I don't know where they took it from. I think it it weren't Green Lantern, but it was something else. They took a picture of her like floating, and then like a Green Lantern thing around her, a bigger version of her around her that's sort of like translucent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because then they can do all the powers that you know as from the comics and that, and what we've played her in the game. And like she makes herself big fists. So when she smashes, then she stuff.
Yeah.
So she can still do that technically with this new power and give fans that nostalgia if they want it for the thingy, and do a big punch with her big fists with this new construct. It sounds stupid to me.
Yeah.
But
it does to me.
It looks like they're going a different way, which is
it's very strange to include this. You know, if they couldn't, surely they must have had a plan in place to like how to show this hero in live action. They must have had some concept art or some test footage or something. Because she's a new, like we said before, she's a new-ish character. That I'm probably saying less than 10 years old in the comics. So it's a bit weird to firstly introduce this character, which is fine, but to not be able to do it to potential, that doesn't really show much for if we actually are getting Fantastic Four.
I think that'll be agreed. I think that'll be slightly different though, because this budget I reckon is nowhere near what WandaVision, and I reckon it's
Probably
not as much.
not, no.
So if you've got a Fantastic Four film, let's say they'll probably get about 180.
Yeah.
They're like quite. They probably have got enough money to make it work.
Yeah.
I think they've gone. Look, we've got a 6 episode. I don't know how long many episodes are in there. 6 or 8 episodes. We ain't got the money to make this work.
Yeah, Marvel went through a stage where they just said stuff.
Yes.
It was their drunk stage, and they just said stuff, and now they're like, oh shit.
Investors
They said
Day,
that.
Loki, this is WandaVision. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're
And they're
right.
just like, oh, we've got to do it now, haven't we?
Well,
Not thinking about
No,
it.
God, yeah.
It is sort of that, but it remains to be seen. But I don't know if that's the right way
Maybe
to
it's an
go.
addition. Maybe she's going to stretch.
Yeah.
They're going to have to. She's going to have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point doing that character.
Fair point.
I don't really care either way.
Fair point.
But but then if she doesn't have all this cosmic sort of stuff, how is that really going to work in that Captain Marvel?
Good point.
the
That's
Marvels
what people are saying.
Yeah. No, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see in early 22, basically. So, some Black Panther Wakanda Forever news. Mabel Cadena, let's go with Cadena, has reportedly been cast as Namora, which is the girlfriend or wife or love interest of Namor,
Nice.
who we spoke about before, the Atlantean.
Good.
So, more evidence that that's happening. There was some set photos where they're filming a massive water tank.
Yeah, it
Ooh,
confirms
sort of.
Atlantis now, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it has to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, there's many reasons why
What would
you
you
could have that.
Why would
Yeah.
Black Panther? Yeah, I just don't. When Black Panther would do an underwater diving, and then there's all these rumors about Namor and Atuma and Namora, is it?
Yeah.
Namora, yeah.
So pretty
Yeah.
much confirmed.
And then we've had, I don't know if we talked about it last week, the set photos from Black Panther with it looks like a memorial.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we talked about it last week.
No,
did
No,
we?
it didn't.
And a little panther as well, didn't it? A little
That's
fresh
it,
panther.
yeah. So it looks like a
Yeah.
big memorial to both the character of T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman. And then all in Wakandan language down like the columns, it has like rest in power and all this stuff. So it seemingly does confirm that T'Challa has died in this universe, but it's like a one for both. Do you know what I mean? So who knows how we're going to go with it yet? They still don't know. They haven't really said. We won't know for a while yet, I suppose, either.
Yeah.
But it's quite nice that they've actually done that, and he hasn't just sort of disappeared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about What If. I know we had a little bit of a trailer, but we can just say it now. There wasn't really much new stuff in the trailer. Don't think we need to. It's out next Wednesday now. But some interesting stuff has come out about it. Series 1 and Series 2, which I didn't even know there was Series 2 confirmed until they said it the other day. It will both have 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is fine. They're only about half hour each.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
think that's all you need for animation, really. You don't need big, long episodes, really. But an interesting thing is Series 1 was meant to have 10 episodes, but due to the pandemic, they pushed the 10th episode to the first episode of Series 2. So,
It's probably going to be a good one then.
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But
Why would that affect it, though? I don't understand.
People
there
say- I
wasn't
didn't
really much
understand
information, but...
Just work from your laptops.
Yeah. Woman do
You're
it.
editing, guys.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like I've done it for the rest. I don't know why the last episode has to. But there was some interesting things come out of it. So reviewers have seen, early reviewers have seen the first 3 episodes. So the first one, every episode's a different story. So it's not crossed over and continues on. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But each one...
I think it definitely entwines because you see it all, didn't you? They all interact, and even
They do, but I think I've read earlier that there's one episode that will be like an Avengers episode
Right.
where all these characters are together. But before that, each one's like the
that's
original
good.
film.
Yeah,
do you know what
that's
I mean?
good.
So
Yeah.
episode 1 is all about Captain Carter.
Brilliant.
It's the first. Episode 2 is T'Challa as Star-Lord, and episode 3 is Loki ruling the Earth. That's the first 3. So
I've heard that's a good one.
yes, well, that's what I was going to say. Some of the reviews, who we all listen to a little bit, Brandon Davis of comicbook.com, said first 3 episodes of What Ifs are an interesting start. First episode didn't grab me. Second is super entertaining and filled with heart. Third is dark, surprising, and hands down my favourite. Got better as it went on by a lot. Each episode has ambitious new style, loads of MCU nods. Another one, which was Eric Davies, another critic. I don't know who that is.
His brother.
It probably could be. I've watched the first 3 episodes of Marvel's What Ifs and I'm hooked. Each episode is better than the last, with the third being my favourite. Love how they take a story we know by heart and twist it in all kinds of ways. It's like the MCU's Twilight Zone. Weird, wild, and good fun. So there's quite a few. That's just a few examples. I haven't really seen any bad things about it. I've seen a lot of them say they get better for the first 3. Obviously, we're only getting them weekly, as we're not that intertwined yet. But
I'm looking forward. I've slowly,
I really
maybe it's
am.
the teasers, but I am very much, I mean, I love animation, but I think this is just really grabbed me. And there was another thing as well, that it's not really a surprise because, as we've said, after Loki, everything's canon. But yeah, the writer AC Bradley, I think it was, has said that this is definitely canon to the MCU.
Yeah.
So as Craig, I think, said after Loki, that is this going to be just a branch reality now?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
well, there's the rumour of Captain Carter, Hayley Atwell, coming back for Doctor Strange and live action version.
So you could see that gives a more layer to it of like,
this is
what if? Oh,
yeah. But this is a great way to do it because you haven't got to pay a load of money. It doesn't have to be a massive production to do all these weird and wonderful timelines. Doing animated style, like Star Wars done really. I did it with Rebels and that, and now we're seeing the live action versions in the main shows.
Yeah.
They're all main shows, but you know what I mean.
And the canon works.
Yes, definitely. Exactly that. So you can do this, and if the rumour is true, apparently again today that AC Bradley said expect to see Captain Carter in a few projects.
Oh, he did. Fair, okay.
But yeah, so he said, like you said, it's canon. But it is actually an interesting thing is that there was a whole episode rejected. Did you read this? So the whole episode rejected because James Gunn complained that it's basically the majority of the plot of what he's doing for Guardians 3.
He didn't.
Oh, was it not him?
No, it was rejected by Marvel. He commented on Twitter to direct to say, we'd be very interested to see what this means because I don't see how that could happen.
Right.
So, but he went, we'll see then. So he's actually been brought to his attention on Twitter. But so yeah, Marvel rejected it, saying, it's too close to the script. Half the story of Guardians 3.
Yeah.
So he was on Twitter like, how could it? Well, he can't tell us, can he? Obviously,
Yeah,
but he was like, "I'll be very interested to see how this is." But
interesting.
Yeah,
I like James Gunn, but he does wind me up a little bit on Twitter.
Very, very vocal.
Very vocal. Very vocal.
That's his whole.
Yeah,
I mean, he's calmed down a lot, thank God, and that's why he's that's why he's
back at Marvel.
Yeah. But yeah,
and another interesting thing that involves James Gunn is someone asked Dave Bautista, you see this, why he isn't voicing Drax, and then he basically just put back, I wasn't asked to do it, and then James Gunn just replied to him, go, what? As if like, why wouldn't? It's weird. I know we said earlier.
Connor come up the point, didn't you?
Well, why would you pay him?
Yeah,
there's no point.
Because he's going for a bit of money now at the minute, Dave Bautista, but
it's not no more than Chris Hemsworth and
have
stuff like that.
Have you seen the list? It's impressive.
Yeah, I actually had the list here. So we had reprising their roles. We've got Andy Serkis, Angela Bassett, Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Wong, Benicio del Toro, Chadwick Boseman, Chris Hemsworth. Just going through the main ones: Clark Gregg, Kobe Smulders, Denai Guerrera, Digimon Honsu, Dominic Cooper, Don Cheadle, Emily Van Camp, Evangeline Lilly, Frank Grillo, Jules St. Pierre, Hayley Atwell, Jamie Alexander, Jeff Goldblum, Jeremy Renner. What else we got? Josh Brolin, John Favreau, Karen Gillan, Mark Ruffalo, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Douglas, Michael Rooker, Natalie Portman.
That's nuts.
Who's got? Paul Bettany, Paul Rudd, Samuel Jackson, Sean Gunn, Sebastian Stan, Seth Green, Stanley Tucci, Taika Waititi, Tilda Swinton, Toby Jones, Tom Hiddleston, and Tom Vaughan Lawler, who I don't know who that is.
Well, straight away, Josh Brolin goes for more money than Dave Bautista.
So Tom Hiddleston,
and they've got
definitely will.
Exactly. But
Chris Hemsworth.
What I mean is that they've got quite distinctive voices. So you would like Loki to be Tom Hiddleston. Drax can be just a big guy, and someone could probably mimic it. But the same with Thanos. Someone could mimic a Thanos impression.
Let's not. I've seen Tom Hiddleston mimic Chris Hemsworth. He has a very good Chris Hemsworth.
True,
but I know what you're saying. He doesn't need to be there. But when you get the majority of the cast to do it. It's pretty much other than Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and Chris Evans. It's pretty much every cast member that they've done is back.
Yeah.
It's very strange that they wouldn't ask him.
I don't think he needs a little moan about this.
No.
You didn't get a role, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't deserve roles.
He has been a little bit muggy towards Marvel when he's saying like they mucked up his Drax story, should have given more and stuff. Maybe they've just gone, do you know what, Drax? Gunn, stick to Netflix. I mean, to be fair, we like Drax. I mean, we like Drax, yes, but we like David Bautista as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think he's probably just burnt a little bit of a bridge there.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I agree. And then one more last little bit of information that come out earlier today.
Information?
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention it when we talked about Black Panther 2. But, so Riri Williams... That's hard to say. Riri Williams.
Jonathan Ross.
So Riri Williams, who is Ironheart, who's obviously getting her own Disney Plus series, played by Dominique Thorne, is rumoured to appear in Black Panther 2.
Okay.
Makes sense. Work with Shuri. She's smart. They're both smart, aren't they?
Who?
Shuri? Oh, did I say it weird? Sorry.
I mean, you said wee-wee, so you
yeah. There's too many R's and I's and W's. It is Jonathan Ross.
Maybe Shuri goes, do you fancy coming to see me lab?
Or makes her an armour or something. I don't know.
Didn't even think of that. Yeah.
But obviously, I think her next appearance you see her in is going to be that Armour Wars, which is Don Cheadle's led series. But that is it for Marvel, I think. Yeah. And then we'll get onto the trailers when we get to it. Do you want me to say my one bit of Star Wars news?
Let's do it.
Yeah, do it.
So Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring, leader of VOT. Any others? Did we say?
We said one more thing.
Well, we said Moff Gideon, but this is the...
this is it. So yes, Giancarlo Esposito, Moff Gideon, has confirmed that he will be returning from Mandalorian Series 3 and it begins filming very soon. I don't know when very soon is, but I would imagine it would be very soon since it's meant to come out next October-ish time. So,
That's good news.
He said, didn't he, that you don't need to worry about Pedro because all of it can be done voice, to be honest. So...
Yeah, I didn't really think about that when we talked about it before.
I didn't think of that, and he just said that's the beauty of it. You don't have to wait for Pedro. He said, so so
I'm excited to see him back.
I'm very excited.
Do you know what I noticed this week? Actually, I didn't really see much complaints about him when the series was on, but when he come out and said, we're filming back for Series 3, it's coming soon. There's a lot of kickback saying he's the worst. One of the worst characters in Star Wars and worst villains.
Clearly, that's
really odd.
People that love the original trilogy.
It's really odd.
He's an outstanding actor and that's an outstanding character.
He did really well with that character. Really well.
You couldn't ask more for an Imperial general or whatever Moff. You couldn't ask anything better.
No.
Yeah, maybe just the ending they sort of.
Well, I had issues.
Tripped it up a bit, but other than that,
I think that was more writing. Personally,
he would have been quite good as a what we talked about last week, Grand Admiral Thrawn. That sort of actor,
great. Yeah,
that sort of personality would have been quite good for that.
Where one sentence can just think,
which is what he did in Breaking Bad, which is what he does in not so much in The Boys, but he's still a good. That sort of character.
The calm, cool, but manipulating. Stan Edgar, I think.
Anyway, so good to have him back. That is me done. So who wants to go next?
One little, just quick thing, just to jump on Star Wars, just to make us look better. Well, it wasn't our news, but we reported it quite quick. We put up the We put up that Mima Masood and
we did this last
Lars
week.
Mikkelsen.
No.
More to it.
Oh, nice.
Rosario Dawson, I think, didn't really get the memo that she probably shouldn't have done this. Basically confirmed it on her Instagram.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, that casting is true. So we reported it and said it was a rumor, but it looks like she's done an Evangeline Lilly with hashtag
Corey Star.
Yeah, Corey Star. So so it looks like that is true, and that great casting. So
yeah, we said last week they're bang on.
Yeah,
they're bang on for it. Anyway, right.
Moving on. Just first up top, obviously, well, if you don't know, Bob Odenkirk collapsed on set of Better Call Saul last week. I don't think I said what it was, but said it was a heart issue. They've
actually confirmed it now. They categorised it as a heart issue, and then they followed up and said it was a miniature heart attack.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So,
but good news is he's on the mend and he's back and he's well. So that's good. Obviously, it'll delay Better Call Saul for a while, but that's not important. He's back and he's well.
It was worrying. Good stuff.
I was really worried. Yeah. Moving on, we've got a lot of Netflix news this week. So first bit of news, I'll leave the other two bits. First bit of news. Netflix trying to get Christopher Nolan on board to make a movie for the streaming service, and talks are ongoing.
That's
huge news.
It's strange that they've gone for that because the whole reason he hasn't officially left Warner Brothers But the whole reason he's moving away from them is because they were putting stuff on streaming services. So it's quite shocked that Netflix is going to give him a theatrical release.
They can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to plan to get him on that, because he's all about film and I did. That's me one. Strange though, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know
he
what I
was
mean?
like, because when obviously Tenet come out and then they put it out on demand at the same time. Again, we'll get onto the debacle. We missed it. Scarlett Johansson debacle.
That's a big debacle.
This could be a good segue into it, actually,
Yes.
because he had the whole thing where he went against his contract and what he wanted, and Warner Brothers did it either way.
Yeah.
But then again, if Netflix are offering, X amount of money to do his film, and that is what it is, there's no chance of a cinema release. So I don't know why. He probably would do it.
And and maybe he's had time to think since because he really blew out and went in on Warner Brothers. So maybe he's realised that, well, not if you can't beat them, join them. But at the minute, if I want to be a filmmaker, which is an outstanding one, then maybe I do go to Netflix. They're the biggest. So
He's go on.
Yeah, Nolan and Schneider.
Yeah.
and they've got Spielberg on their books now. They've got Scorsese from Irishman. They've got so many big
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart,
You signed a deal with Netflix, or was that? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So they have got Adam Sandler's on the books with Netflix as well. So but the big guns, I would class Nolan in. Obviously, he's not as good as Spielberg. I'm not saying that he's the best,
top
but
tier, though.
he is disgustingly good. So if you've got them people, Netflix are changing. It's that you've got all the stuff from that Scott Stuber. He's the chief of content at Netflix, and he's come out. And fair play to you, Scott.
Yeah. Well done, Scotty.
Shall we segue onto the Scarlett Johansson?
I think that's
what
a
we've
good
got to do
segue.
before we continue. So
Do it.
it's been a bit of a debacle.
Give a
hasn't it?
rundown. What's happened? What's
So,
gone on here?
Obviously, we actually reported slightly about this, about the Black Widow. Black Widow making around, I think it was around about 220 million worldwide on the first weekend, but it also made 40 million on Disney Premier Access in the first weekend. Now, she's come out and said, let me get some quotes up, but she's come out and said basically this goes all against her contractual rights, where she gets a share of the box office takers now, which she has, but she also hasn't had a share of the Disney Plus take-ins.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'll read some comments afterwards, but what do you think of this whole debacle?
I don't want to wade in too much because nobody knows the contract,
Yes,
so we
that's
can't
true, yeah.
we can't say too much. But if that is the case, it's hard because unprecedented, because no one could have predicted the pandemic happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if this contract was written up 5-10 years ago, this couldn't have been accounted for. If it was their plan all along, then she's been shafted. But I think it's hard because she hasn't not been paid. She has been paid, but she's just missed
Quite
out on-
handsomely.
Yeah.
I am. It's good. This will segue on to Craig's comments and stuff like that that's come out back and forward. But it's turned into a massive public shouting match, which
Yeah.
Craig's going to give us what's been shouted in a second. But I don't like Disney. I'm not saying I love Disney or anything like that, but I think I'm on Disney's side here personally. I think they've both not covered themselves in glory by making this public, but the fact that she's gone public says her case is weak.
Yeah.
But let's hear some comments.
So the thing I disagree with you on is that they come back and say, obviously, it's weird that this is all so public.
Yeah.
But then again, nowadays,
But
if you get it on Twitter and stuff like that, it does build
going-
momentum.
yeah.
and
That
stuff,
wouldn't
so-
be Disney. This is all Scarlett Johansson's teams. I read a Hollywood Report, and they were saying the reason this is public is because they know their case isn't that strong in I can't remember the words they were using now, but in their lawsuit isn't that strong. So the only way is public order, and that will then probably make Disney go, do you know what? You've been a good servant to us, an asset. Here you go. Whether they do that, I don't know.
I mean, they've got enough money just to pay her and shut up.
True.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I
just
mean?
say, shh, shh, be quiet.
But anyway,
go.
they issued a response to Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit. So they said, there is no merit whatsoever to this. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing as it is a callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's naughty.
Big adjectives
Now,
there.
yes, but that is disgraceful. But this is why I don't
naughty.
like the mouse in this situation. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that, because
Spot on.
very good. But the mouse has screwed the pooch here because they're on. I think this report come out only a matter of weeks before, and because your brother's wife was affected by this as well.
Yeah.
That they laid off 30,000 workers from their theme parks, cruise ships, and restaurants, and all across the board of Disney. Which apparently caused an awful lot of pain, which it would. But meanwhile, during this time, after this happened, Disney reinstated executive pay and salaries in August 2020 to pre-pandemic levels. So they got rid of 30,000 staff and put their executives back to the salary to make their executive salaries back to pre-pandemic levels.
Yeah, that's poor.
So them saying about her, there's a callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects on COVID-19 pandemic. They got rid of 30,000 staff.
Hypocritical.
Yeah.
At the height of it. So what are they talking about?
I think the only one that
hypocrisy.
didn't take the rise, I might be wrong, but I think the only one didn't is Bob Iger. I think he rejected it.
Yeah. Well, he's come out and said about this Scarlett Johansson thing as well.
Has he?
Because Chapek's been quite quiet.
Yeah.
He hasn't really said too much, but Iger's come out and said he's disgraced at how Disney have handled this.
Yeah. He's a saint. Bob Iger is a saint.
Yeah.
Man.
They, I think I've read the same article. He said he's mortified, embarrassed. I didn't know they weren't getting on.
Iger and Chapek.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Massive, since the pandemic.
They had a massive falling out about how to reinvent and run the parks.
Right.
Yeah.
A while back. I think it's when he took over or whatever. But there were certain ideas floated around, which I don't think have been made public. But Iger basically said, this is not the way you do it. Do not do it like this.
I feel like Bob Iger, and you will know more than me on this. I feel like Bob Iger's the suave, cool, keep it all in house, and let me just come and talk to me in the office, sort of, and then smooth it over.
Yeah.
And Bob Chapek's what every board would want in a business, and he's the man to get you the money. Do you know what I mean? He don't care about.
He doesn't. He only cares about
there
home
you go.
entertainment.
So that's what I feel like. Bob Iger's the one, and obviously he's been the successful one at Disney over the last few decade or however long, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chapek comes across as the don't give a shit about me workers. I'll get you, but you give me a spreadsheet and I'll show you how good I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly
Well,
right.
since it's come out, Scarlett Johansson's team's gone back and has slammed Disney in a recent statement. And their quote is, they have shamelessly and falsely accused Miss Johansson of being insensitive of the global pandemic in an attempt to make her appear to be someone they and I know she isn't. Which I have to agree with. Them coming out and saying that statement, I'll say it again, for the horrific, callous disregard for the pandemic. That's really an attack on her, not the contract or the laurels behind it. So, I obviously we don't know the ins and outs, like you said, we don't know the ins and outs of the statement of the contracts, but it does seem like Disney's screwed it up a little bit here. They should have just kept it quiet, didn't have to issue a public response, especially like that, and paid her. It's a small amount, it's a small share. It's never, when you look it up, the contracts are never more than 2% of the share, which is a lot of money, obviously, with the millions it makes. So the 40 million that he made, obviously 60 million, I think it's 40 million it made on Disney Plus. That's 400,000?
200,000.
200,000, sorry, yeah. So,
No, 400,000.
400. Right. So you just, that's enough. That's nothing.
I do agree with you. And I'm not. This isn't a defence on Disney, but I think you can't say that about Disney without saying that Scarlett Johansson fired the first shot by going public. She went public. Disney
I agree.
Disney
with that as well,
did respond publicly,
Yeah.
but the damage is done then because everyone was already, before Disney's response, everyone was saying, "Oh my god, Disney don't pay their workers and stuff like that." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
but you can look at it from the other point of view. She doesn't need 200,000, 400,000.
Well, she got 20 million straight up, and Disney have confirmed whether they have or not. You would think they have because they've publicly said it. She has received compensation through Disney Plus stuff. So
we missed that. Sorry, I missed out a bit of this. This isn't overall box office taken. So anything more paying on Disney Plus, she wouldn't be entitled to it. It was only opening weekend.
Yeah.
That's where the issues come from. Because to be fair, if they released it on Disney Plus a week later, there'd be no issues here. Because it'd only have that opening weekend, but they did. But Kevin Feige's come out as well and said he's disgraced at how Disney's handling this. Seems to be a lot of them on Scarlett Johansson's side. And I think it's just more of a sad thing because this was her last appearance after 11 years of, let's say, service. I know she's not an army person, but just say 11 years of service to them. And I think it's a bit of a shame of a way to go out because you're going to remember that. People are going to remember that now.
Yeah, it's ended on a bad sour note, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is the best thing. This is why Disney lawyers, I don't think they're sweating. Like I said, I read this Hollywood report, a really good report on it, and they said, like, obviously, this is not the first time it will happen. It's not the last. There's a reason you go public as an actor, and it's because you haven't got a good case
to get support as well.
Yeah. So there's a bit here, and this is where Disney will defend on. There's something in law which I didn't know. It's called frustration of purpose, which means where contractually duty is excused upon unforeseen circumstances. So, which is in her contract.
Yeah.
So you know, Act of God insurance, hurricanes. So and that basically Hollywood Report said you will get no better defense from Disney to say a global pandemic is the definition of frustration of purpose.
I get that.
Yeah.
I did read a part of that.
Yeah.
However, when they delayed it over a year and a half because of the pandemic, when they've released it, it has released worldwide in America, Europe, most of Asia. Asia actually got it a little bit first. I think one of the only places in the world it hasn't released is India, which it still hasn't released now.
Yeah.
So the pandemic isn't really an excuse for the Disney Plus side of it this time, because it has been delayed so long that it has actually released worldwide. Do you know what I mean? If it had only been open, say, just in America, and then they had to put it on Disney Plus for the rest of the world to see, that sort of makes sense.
But what they're saying
Yeah,
is
no, I get what you
there's
mean.
still
Yeah,
the
yeah.
public, regardless of these theatres being open, there's still a pandemic
Yeah,
on, so
no,
people
yeah, I
ain't
get
going.
it, yeah,
So
yeah.
even though it's going out worldwide, people are not going to the cinema as much. Still doing well with some of the films.
Yeah.
But and they've just said that, and in her defence, she said they should have delayed it again. So then this is what Hollywood Report was saying, that one, it's a cinematic universe, so they've already delayed it a year, and then now they've got justification to say when would be a good time to release this film if now the Delta variant's popping up.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I
Then
don't
it's got a knock-on effect to the rest as well.
exactly
Isn't it?
that. So I
Well,
don't
actually, to be fair to this film, it doesn't.
No, this is what they said.
Yeah.
They said it doesn't really, but then again, it would be quite strange to bring out a Black Widow film after like the next two.
No, yeah.
But so I mean, it looks like it's whether or not do you think Disney will suck it up?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they will.
I think it's too public.
I think if they're pissing off Iger and Feige, I think they'll buckle.
Yeah.
And let's face it, don't get me wrong, Robert Downey Jr. is an iconic and he was brilliant. But I would say there's only one person that makes Marvel Studios. If you take him out, it's fucked.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Feige. So do not piss him off. Everything else,
For him to publicly come out and go against Disney
Yeah.
is a power move.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they will. I don't think we'll hear about it.
no.
I don't think you'll know what happened. It'll be very much like Michael Jackson in The Court Case with Kids. You won't know what happened,
It's
but
true.
I think they will.
Yeah, they cannot. It's all about. Just don't think about Scarlett Johansson. If Kevin Feige's, because a lot of people were saying, apparently I don't know him obviously, but all the reports were saying Kevin Feige's quite one of these people that he will up and leave
Yeah.
if he feels something's not loyal and stuff like that. He's quite like that. So if he's really this mortified, which you said, they've got to be careful with that, because he will make them billions. Whereas with anyone, I think he's that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't
Well,
piss him
I'll
off.
tell you what will happen if you piss him off. Warner Brothers will come knocking for him and get
Yeah.
DC in
Whatever
order.
you want, Kevin. Whatever
They'll
you want.
get DC in order. But anyway,
So we have moved back to a well-run company. So Netflix, Busy Boys and Girls. This is 21st century, come on. Will Smith. Will Smith's got two films coming up. So first one's a brand new film called Fast and Loose. And it's coming to Netflix. The film follows a man who wakes up with no memories, later learning that he's been living two lives, one as a crime kingpin and the other as an undercover CIA agent.
It's like you want me to get naked. It's that cool.
That is a very good premise
Yes.
for a film.
I like
That is
it.
brilliant.
Really good premise.
They don't remember that film Unknown with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
seen
simple.
that.
So
I know what you mean.
he gets amnesia, and then he wakes up and he's like, he finds his wife, and the wife's like, I don't know who you are, and he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Turns out he was a hitman, and she was like a cover, and she works for the company, but he thought he was this married man, and he was
Right,
like
yeah,
this horrible
yeah.
hitman. So it's similar, and that was actually a good film. But yeah, so that premise,
Yeah.
good God.
I like
really
it.
cool.
I like it a lot.
And we posted that on the Instagram, and someone commented, I don't care, we want Bright 2. Well, you're getting Bright 2, because it's close to having a final script. And Will Smith and Joe Edgerton's coming back for the sequel.
What did you think of Bright?
I know you two didn't like it. I did enjoy it.
Oh, I didn't mind it.
Sorry.
I didn't mind
I
Oh,
didn't hate it. I just thought it was fine.
agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
Yeah.
fine.
but I just found the world funny. I found
Yeah.
that he
Yeah,
was
it was quite clever.
smacking fairies out of his
Yeah.
house like it was a mosquito.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Is it needed?
No. I don't even remember it ending in a way that you needed it. I can't remember the end of it. To
I
be
can't
fair.
remember it.
But the way did it end in a way where you need to see it?
You know, discover someone, and I can't remember.
Wasn't it about a big wand at the end?
It was
or
all
something?
about
Yeah.
it was all about there was
It wasn't called a wand.
all,
though,
all
was
the
it?
wands had been like either destroyed or lost, but there was this one they did call it a wand.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was some weird
and
name.
there was certain people that could use the magic, only certain people, and I think it turns out that Will Smith could use the wand at the end.
Yeah.
So them two are still alive. Joe Edgerton is I think they're called orcs, aren't they? I'm
Yeah.
sure they're called. You know, it's again. I love shit. You know I love shit. That is shit.
Yeah.
But even I'm a bit like, not as agree with Craig, and it's not needed, but I'll watch.
I'll take it.
No, I probably would watch as well, but the first one was just fine.
Yeah, fine.
Just fine.
My final bit of news, if there was ever a director to have this film, it's this director. So a live-action Flash Gordon movie with Taika Waititi writing the script.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, that is going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be camp.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. It's just like exactly what Flash Gordon's going to be.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Flash Gordon, I just think of Ted.
Yeah, literally that.
That's all I think of.
Getting on cocaine. The actual actor. It's a bit similar to He-Man.
Yeah.
That sort of pop culture, massive.
Not our generation.
But not our generation.
Yeah.
But we're aware of how big it was. So, was it
that-
Dolph
it's like-
Lundgren done?
Yeah, I
no,
think
he was He-Man, wasn't he? Sorry. I think Dolph Lundgren was He-Man. Anyway.
I think they're one in the same, isn't it?
Sorry,
pretty much,
sorry.
yeah.
The man who's in Ted was actually Flash
Yes,
Gordon.
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
One
but
in the same.
it's one of them things like you said, He-Man, that even people younger than us just know the name, know of Flash Gordon, know
Exactly
of
that.
He-Man. So, and Taika Waititi, it sounds like it could be great.
Yeah. But that's my news.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, segue on to shit that maybe's not needed. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Did we all see the two films?
Yeah.
I think 2014 and 16.
I've seen one of them.
I saw both.
First one was all right.
Yeah.
All
Second-
right.
Yeah.
Second one is poor,
I don't think I've seen the second one.
really poor.
Is that the one with the big fortress in the big ball?
The famous villain with
Yeah,
the
with his telephone,
head. Yeah,
telephone
Oh, yeah.
TV
a bit
screen.
like Arnim Zola from.
Yes, exactly like that, yeah.
But yeah, so
Is he
they.
called Krang? Is he Krang?
I think you've got it. I think
Yeah,
you're
I
bang
think
on
it's
there.
Krang, yeah.
So what I'm going to say with this, remember I said last week about Pokemon? I just feel like that's something from my childhood.
You leave that alone. We went through this.
Again, I'm no
Yeah,
rival.
yeah.
There's something from my childhood I personally don't feel needed to be resurrected. We all love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Surely we did when we were younger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel a bit nostalgic with that, and I do feel like if you could get that right, I feel like that it would be a fun, easy money making purely off nostalgia. But it was Michael Bay, I think, produced him, and he's back producing this one. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing based off the two.
Yeah.
And the script writers, people, in all honesty, I don't know, Colin and Casey Jost, they're on script duties. It's obviously coming to Paramount. I assume it's going to get theatrical and not Paramount Plus, but just yes or no. Just give me yes or no.
What, do I see it?
Do you want this?
No.
Yeah, not really, no.
I think that's
Because
fair
they've
enough.
already announced it. Because they've already announced they're doing Seth Rogen's doing an animated film.
Which probably will be more.
Why don't you
Yeah.
just do that? You don't have to do another one. Is Megan Fox back? If Megan's Fox back, I probably will watch.
Maybe Paramount are thinking our IPs are really low here.
Yeah.
Do
we've
we
got-
need to just start?
Sell the company.
Yeah.
just get rid of it.
Netflix.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know more to say on that.
Nah.
Let's just move on.
The turtles look horrible in it as well.
They,
Which is what
to be
people-
fair, why were they so big and
They were huge, muscly
Yeah.
things. They didn't look in any way like a turtle.
Shredder
Yeah.
looked fantastic.
Shredder looked great.
Yeah. But
They look better on the direct line advert.
They absolutely look better on that.
spot on.
And if any American, I know we have American listeners, if you don't know what that is, just type in Google Direct Line Insurance Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle advert. You'll see.
You'll see it.
It looks
Brilliant.
great.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Well,
If
fair
they can
enough.
do it like that, come on, Paramount.
Right, some more, little bit more promising news. The rumor, well, not it was rumors, it was talks, but Craig's now confirmed it's actually happening. I'm going to have a go at his name here. Yolo Marijuana.
That'll do.
I'd say
That'll
that's
do.
close.
He was a star of Cobra Kai, well thought of. He was in talks, now confirmed to be the lead as Jamie Reyes in the HBO Max movie Blue Beetle. I've only shown you, took the piss out of it, didn't I? When I showed you a little clip from Smallville.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. It doesn't look great. I am actually quite intrigued in this. I genuinely am. I feel like if the CGI is right, a sort of an armor, just like the nanotech from Iron Man.
Yeah.
If you get it right and it looks good, it might be okay, and it's a cool story, whatever. So yeah, not much more to say on it, but they found their lead.
That's the thing. I'll take something new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
the point.
something new.
The
so
new
I'm
fair
hero. Is he a hero or is it a villain?
Hero,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's
Hero.
like, hero. A lot of miss. Jesus, I don't know what to say. Right, and then my last bit of news is a massive surprise. Again, HBO Max. Again, movie. Again, DC. J.K. Simmons is in final negotiations, and from what the reports I've read, it's pretty nailed on He's going to return as Commissioner Gordon in the Batgirl movie, which Leslie Nielsen, I think, has just been cast as Barbara Gordon, his daughter.
Yeah, he's stuck his heart at the minute, isn't it?
So, quick question. Are you happy with him back?
Yeah, I love him. I like him, so yeah.
Fair enough. We didn't see him as Commissioner Gordon, really. So, I'm really happy. No one's seen him. He didn't really get a chance to show it. I mean, in the original Justice League, he was barely in it. In the Zack Snyder's Justice League, he was barely in it. He looks good. Looks exactly like I would picture from comics and animation, exactly Jim Gordon. We'll see. But
this seems confusing because when we spoke about, what was her name? Leslie...
I think it's Leslie Nielsen, I
think it is.
Yeah, yeah. When she was cast as Batgirl last week, we spoke about the fact that this could be connected to the Robert Pattinson Batman because Jeffrey Wright is Commissioner Gordon, would make sense with the race and the look of the two of them. But now, is this not just confused matters then with this?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you.
We don't really know because there's so many offshoots of the DC universe. You don't know which is in its own universe. I mean, the Flash film may explain this, but it'd be very strange even if the Flash film does explain it to still have a white Commissioner Gordon and have Leslie Nelson as Batgirl when they already have a black Jeffrey Wright Commissioner Gordon in the DC universe.
Yeah.
It's very
I think
very strange. I mean, very strange.
I think she's Hispanic, but it's the same thing.
Right,
it's exactly the same thing though. But so I don't really know. They seem to do in these Elseworlds films at the minute. Some would say they're succeeding with Joker and the Suicide Squad. When we'll get onto that, I think that's going to be what we're getting. I don't think the Flash is going to open up these worlds as it probably should.
He may explore Flashpoint.
Yeah,
I don't think it will have ramifications for the rest.
We'll talk about it more in our Suicide Squad thing, but I really think this is the new direction of DC, and I believe it's the more successful route. But in these Elseworld, not connected, let's stop copying Marvel. But that's it on my news. Come on, JK.
Yeah. No trailers?
No, because you've missed a bit of news that I thought you would really like to talk about.
Apologies.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I do not know.
Lord of the Rings.
Sorry, I did. I don't know why I've got it in my scraps. It's decent news. I know.
Big news. Got a lot of likes.
Give it to us.
So, Lord of the Rings, the Amazon Prime series, released its first image today. Is that Ministry of?
It's not.
Is it not? Because it looks very much like it.
I
just saw a big white city and thought that's what it was.
It does look very Ministry of, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
Everyone's gone crazy about the trees at the background.
If you're going to have a cup of tea, it won't be a minute.
Okay. But it was, regardless of what you think, it was a very impressive looking shot for a TV show.
Yeah, it was.
And what is it, $65 million budget for the series? That is impressive for a TV show.
Forbes again as well. That's
I mean, to be fair, this is still pocket change for Bezos.
This
is coming to Amazon Prime.
How much? 465 mil. Bill?
Goes in the back of the sofa. Okay.
But this is surprising to me is this is being released September 22nd next year. I thought it was coming earlier than that. Over a year away.
But it wrapped today, didn't it?
It did. I was going for that.
That was probably the big news.
Good segue.
Cheers, Connor.
There was no segue. It was just stolen. But yeah, as Colin especially has wrapped film today. But that's over a year. That's like 13 months before release.
Can you imagine?
It's going to be a heavy
visual,
CGI,
VFX. Sorry, could you imagine how much that's going to take? And then you got Christmas. I don't know. I just think it's going to be really because this series could be shite, as what's his name, John Barrowman would say about the movie Old. It was shite, but at the very, very least, it's going to look outstanding.
If that one image is anything to go by, that looked
Don't copy my word.
I was about to say it, and I realised because you just said it. I was like, this looked spectacular.
Have your own thoughts.
This looks spectacular for a steal of a TV show. It looked very, very good. Very cinematic.
Very cinematic. It's throwing a lot of words out now. Spectacular cinematic.
I'm overcompensating. Visually stunning is what it was. But other than that, Rat Film today. I'm looking forward to it, but a long way to wait now.
No, I very much am looking forward to it. I know it's not your cup of tea, Con, but you're a man who loves cincinematography.
Yeah, I love Lenny Emery.
I know you do love Lenny Emery. So I mean,
I forgot about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of unknowns.
Did you know he was a sir?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know. He was on a quiz today.
It's all the children need stuff. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Red Nose. Did he do Red Nose Day?
I think
the
that's
other one.
I think.
Yeah. Whatever.
He's there, isn't he?
Anyone need help? Lenny's about. But really looking forward to it.
Trailers?
Yeah.
Bunch of scraps!
Is that scraps? I haven't got my headphones on, so I'll just.
Do you want to just cut it there? Because I was going to say, do you want to break?
Yeah.
And we'll do trailers and Suicide Squad when we get back.
Trailers.
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 It's the wrong one again.
Oh no. No one knows. So we spoke about What If, so I won't go by that. Let's speak about Venom. Venom trailer. So it's a bit of a look. Saw a lot more.
Yes.
A lot of new bits. Intrigued me more, this one. This trailer.
I'll be honest, I thought it was a very good trailer.
Yeah, I liked it. Lots more than Carnage.
I still think like Venom's a 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
There's some. I mean, they didn't have the singing, making breakfast this time around, but still.
Yeah, they seem to. You can clearly see them balancing the. Is it PG-13? I think it'll come out as because it's not R-rated, is it? As much as people want it to be. It's like they're balancing the PG-13, and then they'll give you a little bit like with the Carnage tongue scene that will and stuff. And then I said you can see them really balance it. You're right. I don't particularly enjoy the camaraderie, weird relationship they have, Venom and Eddie Brock. But I thought this was really good, and Woody Harrelson is such a good actor.
Very good.
Yeah,
And Carnage looks fantastic now. Because in that first one, you didn't see too much of it, and he almost looked a bit orange in the first one. There wasn't really much, but obviously we talked about the statue that was seen, and we posted them. Looked great in that. He looked very good in real life, especially real life, live action. Especially with the bit where it's close up on his face. He's even got like the black bits on his face and the red and tentacles giving the different weapons and stuff. Yeah, very.
They should always be out, shouldn't they? Like,
it should be a crazy.
You should have 4 at least just out like that. Yeah. And the prison scene, he's walking, they're all out. It looks fucking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm extremely intrigued on this.
Yeah, that's piqued my interest. But is that how he becomes Carnage? Just biting him?
Well, this was my problem. No, that's not how it happens at all. Because there's a bit in this trailer where Venom gets scared for some reason because it's the red. I mean, he is comics wise, yes. The red symbiotes are more dangerous, and then Venom's a different type, and then there's a yellow symbiote who you actually get to see in this. A little bit. There's a woman in a glass case and she's in a car and she screams. And
Naomi Harris, isn't it?
Yes. So she will be the symbiote Scream, which is basically a yellow woman symbiote.
Shriek.
I think they go by different names. I'm pretty sure it's called Scream, but Shriek's one as well. No, I think you're right with Shriek.
Oh, right, fair enough.
But I think there's a symbiote. I think there's one called Scream. Whichever one they're going to use. Right. So Shriek or Scream, whichever one. But very much uses that scream shrieking ability, which I imagine you probably will see in this. You may be symbioted up, but yeah, the biting his hand and tasting a bit of blood is not. Yeah, it's not what happens.
I didn't like that.
It's a completely different symbiote from because in the comics there's a symbiote world where all these live. They're alien species, and one comes to Earth and then another comes to Earth, and suddenly there's about 10. So there is just all different ones just appear. So yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter how he becomes Carnage really, but the Carnage bit looks very, very good.
Yeah. And the transformation bit,
yes,
when you can see he's proper. I always get his name wrong. Cassius, what's his name? I say Cassius Clay. That's bloody Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy, for God's sake. When he transforms from Cletus Cassidy in the church, whatever it is, into Carnage, it's outstanding.
Yeah,
it's so
that bit in the prison bit as well, where they're shooting him and it opens up like a hole, and I thought that was good.
Yeah.
But not anatomically correct. What happens to his body?
But where's he gone then?
Exactly.
Yeah, where's he gone?
But there's many things that, like when Venom eats a whole person, it's like, well, where's that person gone? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You can't get into the semantics of it. So, it looks, much, much better. I just don't like the way Venom's portrayed at all.
Fair point.
When we are going to have to see the singing breakfast scene as well.
We are.
That is a fact that is happening.
I read as well, I didn't know this, apparently it's a year and a half after. So it's quite a long time since the first one.
Yeah.
So I assume he'll be a lot better as Venom, and there'll be more. So, because at first he was really like sort of bumbling with Venom, wasn't he? So I think you'll see much better fighting scenes, as Craig's pointed out before. You need to be careful with the mixing of the symbiotes because it can look like a big splodge.
It was just paint being thrown at each other.
Hopefully Andy Serkis sorted that out.
It's a weird one for him to take on, though, isn't it? I think it's his directorial debut. It must be. I
can't think of one he's directed.
But
biggest by far, then at least. Yeah,
I saw a good tweet, and it was like Tom Holland Spider-Man wouldn't stand a chance if you whacked him in this,
He would get destroyed. Yeah.
Immediately.
But it remains to be seen whether this actually does eventually go there. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Good trailer. Good trailer.
If you haven't seen the trailers, socials at Weekly Cut, Instagram and Twitter, they're on there.
Probably best to go on Twitter. We always get taken down on Instagram.
Yeah. But go have a look.
Sony seemed to like us this time.
Moving on, House of Gucci. Big cast, Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Al Pacino,
Jared
Leto. Ridley Scott is directing it. I'm assuming he's directing it or producing it, one of the two.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons as well.
Jeremy Irons, yeah. It looks like this film looks like a performance-based film again.
So Oscar, basically.
Yeah, it's going for an Oscar, I think. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not really sure what the story is. Are one of them playing Gucci, or is it just...
It's about the whole family of Gucci, and I assume it's a true story, but obviously someone gets murdered.
Yeah.
And it's about sort of the betrayal and what comes out and who done it and stuff. I think.
Yeah. I think Lady Gaga looked good in the trailer. I was quite impressed with her.
Multiple looks in it.
Yeah.
Multiple looks.
Jared Leto looks large.
Does look large, yeah.
It's
Does look
always
large.
strange that.
Yeah.
Why they would go, and so don't get me wrong, Jared Leto is a fantastic actor. I know Craig has his gripes, but even in this, the man can act, so it's fine,
Yeah.
obviously, putting him in this. But just get us, if you want a slightly overweight, balding man, just get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find them.
Yeah, you can.
Why do you have to do the makeup of Jared Leto? You just
Yeah, I
want his
know.
name.
Do you remember when it was Gary Oldman got done up
Yeah.
big for Churchill?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it, but my dad's favourite subject, he loved it. He thought it was brilliant.
Of course.
So I do get it from that point of view, because you've got an Oscar-winning actor, you want to slap a bit of makeup on him, you want to play an important
Fair
character
point.
like that, then yeah, I guess so. You can't just get a Vincent D'Onofrio to play, everything, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone, what really made me laugh, I saw in comments, everyone was like, where was Paul Giamatti? Or what's his name?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, so he's just the go-to guy for a fat man. We need a fat man who can act. Paul Giamatti. Oh, it really got me. But yeah, cool. I'm a bit with you. Well, I don't know about you, Craig. What do you think of it?
I'm not going to watch it. I mean, are we going to have to? We're going to do an episode on that?
Depends what comes out around that
This
time.
is true, yeah.
But it probably will be a big film. We'll have to, come around. I think I'll watch it.
It's got a good cast.
Yeah, based
Yeah.
off the cast, I probably will. And it's just whether or not it's the story.
Do you know what? I think I actually might look into what this murder bit is about, and if it's an interesting case,
Yeah.
like something actually
You
really
love all
into
that.
I do love all that.
Yeah.
But if it is good and there's an intrigue behind it and a bit of a mystery about what actually happened, maybe it might be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Moving on. Final one we got is the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
Sad times. Good
Bit
trailer.
sweet.
Yes.
Bit sweet in it.
It
Talking
is.
about
It is.
But yeah,
Funny.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So there's it was a different style of trailer for TV. Was that taking the piss out of?
That was a superhero trailer.
100%,
Yeah. But yeah, it just looked. I mean, we was laughing throughout the trailer, and that's just a trailer. So this
And
is
we've
going
watched
to
it already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to be very good.
Yeah. What about your news that you mentioned?
Oh yeah. So I read Terry Crews has come out, and he said he's working on a script for a film, Brooklyn Nine-Nine movie,
Yeah.
because no one wants it to end.
Yeah.
Which is right.
Well,
No-
I said down just a minute ago when we was watching it, I said this is a show that could just continue on. No season for me when I've watched it has got worse. I mean, they've all been funny. I could see after a while, obviously they would have run out of ideas, but this could continue on for quite a while.
I'd love to know the budget as well. Can't be a big budget. They don't
I don't
do
think so.
nothing.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see any of them anywhere else, do you?
There's not like ever big car chases. It's a police show,
yeah.
and there's no big car chases, no big guns, fight scenes. It's just them taking the piss and in that one studio with the same precinct thing.
Yeah.
So and the cast ain't going for a lot.
No.
So I don't know.
But then again, because obviously, where was it at before? Was it at Universal or something before?
we always say this. don't we?
I can't
We
remember.
We should Google.
You should Google it.
It
but,
was something,
but it recently got bought because it was axed.
Yeah.
And it was picked up again because of fans. Fans wanted it to carry on.
Yeah.
And now they've done one series to end it. It's very. Was the last
Two
series?
series.
Was
Yeah.
the- oh, okay.
yeah. NBC picked it up.
That was it, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
at Peacock now, and
Yeah,
NBC
yeah.
Peacock. But it's a bit strange to spend out all that to revive a series and do it for one and a bit, well, two series, but it's a bit strange.
This is the perfect streaming show.
100%.
Streaming service
Yeah,
picked it
yeah.
up and carried on with it. It will just make
Yeah.
money.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's this series? This is series 8, isn't it?
Yeah, eighth
Yeah.
and final season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
But yeah, best trailers.
Woo!
Not completely.
What are we missing?
Oh, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was only a little one, but I said that's it. Marvel are very good at putting good music in. They're
yeah.
very
Love it,
good.
mate.
That goes really well. This one showed a bit more of him doing bits. And there was actually a featurette released as well, where Kevin Feige explained about how this has come to be, and stuff goes all the way back to Iron Man, the first one, the 10 Rings, and that. But this, it was only a minute and a bit long, minute and a half, I think it was. This hyped me up even more for it. I think it looks. I'm really liking the looks of this now.
Very powerful, isn't he?
Yes, it does appear so.
Legit, he'd be like quite strong in the Avenger group if he joined them. Like, it'd bang Captain America. At one point at the end, he does a superhero landing from like extremely high.
Yeah.
And at the end, the only thing that made me laugh at the end, I hope it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like at the end the rings are split between who do they go to? Because it looks like he's got 5.
They're sort of floating
and
around.
The other one, and his dad's got 5, Mandarin. So it's going to be like, I've got 5, you've got 5, let's fight.
Yeah.
And then who do the rings come to?
I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Do you think?
Exactly.
Because I think at the end I saw he had 5 rings, Shang-Chi had 5 rings on his arm, and then Thingy had, Mandarin had 5 rings in his arm, and then they're using them, aren't they? So it might look good, but yeah, that might be a weak ending to me.
Yeah.
It could be a case of classic Marvel formula, like fight someone who's just same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I am hyped though.
yeah,
I'm hyped.
I just like the fact that we're getting a decent martial arts Marvel film, which is a good way to go in, something else. But look good.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's trailers?
No, it is.
That's true.
Question mark. Cool.
Take us away, Craig.
So our main segment today is James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It's very important to put that in because you don't want to confuse it with that sack of shit from 2016. So it's The Suicide Squad. What we're going to do is do a quick run through, non-spoilers first, and then Connor will kindly put in a warning to say when we're going to talk all things spoilers. So choose when to get off, basically.
Someone go through it though. What is the story?
This is your remit.
I asked the question.
You've done the review. This is your remit. You got to do it.
So, obviously, it's a... what's the best word to say? It's a sequel, but not a sequel. It's very ambiguous in that respect.
It is.
But it's a standalone. Don't need to watch anything. You don't need to watch David Ayer's version of it. Well, not version. His film, Suicide Squad. This is The Suicide Squad. James Gunn in all his beautiful, horrible mind glory. So,
do you agree with that statement now?
Now I do extremely, yes.
Yeah.
So the story is Amanda Waller, horrible, ruthless woman, works for of course, secret government agency, and she needs to get to the famous DC island of Corto Maltese to get something called Project Starfish, which we all know, even from the trailers, you know what it is.
It's a big squid, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So obviously Starro is the villain. So that's Project Starfish. They need the data. We'll get on to why they need that data. Not dear. And she obviously assembles the Task Force X, aka Suicide Squad, as she needs obviously some insurgents to be a little bit different. And then they go to get this Project Starfish. And here we go with the non-spoilers.
Very good. Very good summary.
Yeah. Good, yeah, nice stuff.
So let's do ratings then. Let's go straight in.
What are we doing out? We're doing out 5-star or 10?
Let's do 5 5-star.
Cool.
Red Hills.
Well, I did the review. For me, I think this is. I thought about it long and hard. Usually, I drop off after reflect. If anything, I'd go more, but I can't give it that 5 for many reasons, which we'll get into. But I do. I think this was so strong. I loved every second of it, and I am going to give this a 4.5 star.
Fair enough. I have stepped down slightly. I am a 4. A 4 out of 5. It's hard to fault this film. It is difficult to fault this film, but I don't know why. I don't really know why I've stepped down. It's just someone telling me I can't give it a 4.5, but it's a solid 4.
Yeah,
and could encroach.
We'll get into it.
Yeah,
Craig.
I completely agree with Connor. I think after a day or so after thinking, and it is a brilliantly fun film, and most characters in it are pretty good, and the story, maybe apart from the end, is a little bit. It's okay at the end bit. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as the original Suicide Squad, but I'm gonna go 4 star as well. But I don't think you're wrong. All right, 4.5 star, 4 star, fine. Yeah, really good film.
Cool. So we'll average it 4 star for the weekly cut review there. Yeah. So obviously we'll do a little bit of non-spoiler. Let's stick on. We've mentioned story and cast, so let's stick with one for a second. Cast. Anyone got any standouts or anyone that did not work?
My standout for this film is Idris Elba. For me, he was lead role.
100%.
Yeah.
And everyone else was just sort of supporting actors. But I'm talking with my hands a lot.
You are.
Keep looking at me.
No one can see it. I am keep staring. I do keep staring.
We'll get that camera up soon, don't you worry.
But yeah, he was standout for me. Very, very good, very cool, and just classic Idris Elba.
It was a scene stealer.
Yeah,
he was
it
a
was.
classic one.
I think just off of the back of Fast 9, John Cena is fantastic in this.
Very surprised.
Because he was awful. Like, awful. I believe we all come out of it and said the geezer cannot act.
Yeah.
And he was awful in Fast 9. In this, he was really, really good. Played off Idris Elba really well.
Yeah.
And the rest of
They
the
were
cast.
great.
Yeah, they were. And there's one specific scene I think we'll talk about in a bit, which was really good between them two. But he had some great comedic timing in it. The way, he actually acted as like the hero / villain, like the stunts and stuff, and the way he actually like shooting.
Yeah.
He was really good. And to come off the back of Fast 9, I just thought it was such a step up.
Yeah.
For him, which can't really be James Gunn over. Is it James Wan who did Fast 9? Can't be the director like getting the best out of actors, really, is it?
Maybe it's Idris Elba and Margot Robbie.
Could be.
Maybe he
Well,
got
I mean, if you
excited
believe Vin Diesel, he shouted at The Rock for not doing well. So what did he say to him? But
I just think his role as Jacob Toretto in Fast 9 was, even though it's Fast and Furious and we were saying it's going to be shit and the story's got to be mad, he tried to portray his character was trying to be heartfelt, that it turned out he didn't kill his dad and he got torn away and thrown into this world. He tried to be all dramatic, and he's not that good of an actor to do that.
Yeah.
But throw him in as a crazy man who wants to kill people for peace, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Then, and talking about a big bag of dicks and bumholes and starfish, which is these are direct quotes, by the way. Then I think it worked, and that's why I was surprised. So I think I agree with Craig there. Yeah. John Cena was definitely there for me, and Idris Elba was there. The only reason I'm going to say Daniela Melchior, I think her name is, Ratcatcher 2, was because I think I wouldn't have gave this film 4.5 star if she didn't provide that little bit of emotion that it needed. Otherwise, it would have been just fuckery.
Yeah.
Which would have been fun. I would have had a great time with it still. But I think the reason it's become a good movie, a really, really fantastic movie to me, was because it had a little bit of everything. And she provided the needed emotion. And with Taika Waititi, which was a massive surprise cameo, until Craig saw it at the beginning credits. But I found out today that that was a complete surprise. No one knew.
yeah, until I saw it on there, I thought, I'm sure I haven't read that he's in this.
That would have been known, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so cast sorted. Obviously, some shout outs. King Shark was just funny.
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah, I really enjoyed
King
him.
Shark. Margot Robbie, just standard Harley Quinn. I thought she was very good. Looks great.
Who was it who said it the other day? Was it
Sean?
what? So no, a
He's
bit
done
sick
with
of
us.
us. Yeah.
He's seen Birds of Prey though, so
Yeah, I kind of get it as well. I think she works better when she's got a Joker or even Batman involved, but I haven't seen Birds of Prey, but apparently it's crap anyway. So.
I agree with that. I think she probably would be a good fit if, they were great for the first 20 minutes of Suicide Squad. David Ayer's cut, but yeah. So let's go on story.
Story, okay. So with the story, because this film, why I liked it is you sit in the cinema and it's bang, off you go, action.
Yes.
And that's why I liked it. The story was not weak, but it was just average for me. It was just go onto this island, get this, and come off. And that was the crux of the story.
That is
Basically.
the crux. It was a heist, really.
Yeah, it was.
It was. They're trying to get something, steal something.
Yeah.
What about you? Story.
I don't think that we won't mention what it is, but there was a twist of sorts towards the end. I didn't think it actually needed that. I
think I know
thought
what
that
you're talking about.
was a bit the hard drive part. I didn't think that was actually necessary. I don't think it actually added much to it.
No, it didn't.
Because even with what happens, without saying it, what happens to Peacemaker, you thought, oh, okay, but we know there's a series coming and stuff like that. I don't think the whole twist thing actually really did anything, to be honest. But one thing I have a problem with, it's not a massive problem, but obviously Idris Elba...
12-inch problem. Those toys are back here.
Idris Elba is obviously a different character, but he's Will Smith's Deadshot. This is the direct replacement for that character. There's even a scene that is quite similar, where he's shooting him like Will Smith on top of the car.
The daughter relationship.
This is what I was about to say. So the daughter, no, this is the thing. Right? So it's not Deadshot, But in the first suit, not the first one because it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
The other Suicide Squad film, Amanda Waller used Will Smith's daughter against him to get in Suicide Squad. It's exactly what she did in this one.
Just in a less ruthless way, but
It's slightly less, yes, but it's exactly the same. So I don't know the answer to this, but I don't know why Will Smith Deadshot wasn't back.
I'm pretty sure I'll have to Google it. I'm like 80% sure he did. I think James Gunn did want him, but I think there was a scheduling cut. I'm pretty sure there was. I'll double check it. I might be wrong, but if that wasn't the case and that Will Smith couldn't come back, I'm sure I read that he couldn't. Then that's right. But
then why choose a different character and have the same background and reasoning for getting him in the Suicide Squad? Why not just then have Idris Elba as Deadshot?
Yeah.
It's a bit. Obviously, it wouldn't quite work if you did that, but you could have had a better reason for him to join the Suicide Squad than just doing exactly the same.
I agree with
done
that
before.
Definitely. I think James Gunn wanted, because this was a sequel to the Ostrander comic run of the Suicide Squad, and Corto Maltese and Bloodsport shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet. That was a big part of it.
I liked that bit of it.
So I think maybe he just wanted Bloodsport in this. And that's my only fault or logic behind it. Maybe because if he's doing it off the back of that run of comics, and obviously that was a part of it. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. If Will Smith was available and they didn't approach him and they went this route, but with the same story, that is weak.
Yeah, it was a bit strange. It didn't really matter. It's only a small part of the film, really. But yeah,
So I agree. I do actually agree with your points. To be fair, the reason I've given it in terms of story, I thought the story was brilliant. Is it the story or the way it was shot? It's a bit of both. But all this jumping back and forward, like 8 minutes earlier and 3 days earlier, it kept coming up, and then in the way it was written and stuff, I thought was phenomenal. For a comic book movie, it's exactly what I want. I want that. Two stories going simultaneously that I was doing. I was jumping back. Oh, now that makes sense. All really controlled chaos. And yeah, I really do give props to James Gunn. They gave him, DC gave him the key, gave him the check to go do what you want. And he went, right, I don't want Superman. Apparently he was offered Superman. And he said, I don't want that. I want these weirdos of no one knows, and I want to make a film.
That would dilute it.
Yeah.
You don't want
Exactly.
Don't want that, do you?
So yeah, I just love that aspect, but I do agree with the story element. So yeah,
visually this was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I can't fault it visually.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
And they made a character like King Shark look adorable in some sense. It was funny. There's a bit where it's not spoiled. You see it in the trailer where he's running around that little fish tank bit.
Yeah,
and he's having a wonderful time. He's having a bit of fun. But yeah, really good. Sylvester Stallone didn't really have, much.
A bit like Vin Diesel was.
It didn't really have much, but he was very good. Very good. I like that a lot.
I think so.
That's the only other King Shark I've seen live action is in the Flash series, which doesn't look that bad.
No,
in some
for a
things.
Flash, which is
but he's like a big hulking type beast of a shark, like
bodybuilder one.
Yeah, like huge. He's like 8 foot tall or whatever. He's big.
I think it's huge.
It's like a Hulk basically, but a shark. But this one was like a stumpy little, was a bit,
that was a directorial decision. People ask him why have you not? Because in the comics, King Shark is, as Craig said, a bit more muscular. Some versions have like hammerhead, and he said no. He wanted from the get go a stumpy dad bod, in his words. King Shark.
It worked. I liked it. Yeah. And actually, we forgot about. I can't remember the actor's name, but Polka Dot Man was pretty good.
Oh, David Dastmalchian.
Yeah.
Very close. I am close there.
You are very close.
He is phenomenal. I love it. He's brilliant in anything. He was brilliant as Polka Dot Man, and he stole some scenes.
Oh yeah,
or someone else did.
Or someone, maybe someone close to himself did. But his character just worked well. You wouldn't think he's. Well, this is why I'm so in awe at this film, and I am a little bit. I have to be honest. It's because they gave us Polka Dot Man, and did you love him?
Loved him.
Yeah.
How have they done that?
Yeah.
How have they made people love Polka Dot Man?
Well, this is the thing. He gave us Groot and Rocket.
Yeah.
And I've said before, when we went to see Guardians, that was about to go see what a fucking talking tree and a raccoon. But Groot is well loved by everyone, whether he's big, small, or whatever. He's done the same for King Shark and Polka Dot Man, who you don't even Weasel, who had a little bit, people liked him quite a lot.
The runoff,
especially the bit. That runoff was hilarious. But just all round, a very good film. Now, my question to you specifically. You can wade in, come.
Thank you.
But you can be here. You're allowed.
I'll ask you after, but I want to go because he's a DC correspondent.
Yeah.
With DC, not all DC films, DCEU films. Let's say this is DCEU film. Where does this go for you?
I'll tell you right now, both versions. I've read it down. It's the best DC film since Dark Knight.
That's a fair comment.
Man of Steel.
It's better than that. I believe it's a better movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's
I know you have a big love for Man of Steel.
I think I gave Man of Steel about an 8 out of 10. I think it's fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
Or I'd call it a great. I think it's great. And there are some things that was a shame. But I think it's great and a really good foundation for the DCEU, which has tumbled off, unfortunately. Bring back Henry Cavill. But for this as a movie, I just thought it's not just DC. It's one of the best standalone, not Avenger, not Justice League. It's one of the best standalone comic book movies I have watched. I just think there was not a moment I was bored. I think everything that was intended was nailed. It was visually flawless. I can't think of anything. You had a starfish and a king shark, and it still looked good.
And a gazillion rats.
Yeah.
I've got loads of reasons, but I still to myself am struggling to why I enjoyed it so much, because I'm not a massive James Gunn fan. I'm not one of those. I thought Guardians 2 was poor, in my opinion. So I just something about it, and I think it's because it maybe have just opened up a new direction that DC need to go down, and I think they will, and we'll get onto it. But good question. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's the best DCEU film.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think so.
I'd watch it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And probably next day as well. It's that type of film.
I think I gave 4 stars Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think. And this just pips it. I was close to 4, but I've give it 4.5 because it's been a long time since I've wanted to rush back to a cinema, and I'm going again to watch it. So it's been a long time since I've had that. Obviously pandemic, cheers. But yeah, so.
This is you can definitely tell this is Guardians. Not the same film,
R-rated
but
Guardians.
you know, he took his shot
Misfits.
at Guardians.
Yeah.
Like a misfit group, and did the weird and wonderful there, and then just took Guardians and went, is it about 10 times more? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, very good, well played to him. And I would probably say it's the most, I wouldn't say it's actually the best DCU film, but I would say it's the most enjoyable. I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is better. Although the only reason I wouldn't, I don't know, it's 4 hours long. Right? So that's
Go back to, we had a good episode of that. Go back to listen to it. It's good.
I think that is the best one DCEU film, but it's not even DCEU, is it? So who knows what it is.
I know what you mean. He got it right in his first. This is his cut.
Yeah.
So fair point.
But the fact that it's 4 hours, maybe not. Then maybe I would go with the Suicide Squad. To be fair.
It was close, definitely. But I think no one's taking Dark Knight. So let's just forget that question ever in history. So it you just got that for me. So yeah.
Jump into spoilers.
Oh yes.
Spoiler sound is playing. Is it playing? Thank you very much. So spoilers from this point on. There'll be time codes in description. So come back after. I'll put when it's finishes and come back because we've got scraps and watching our screens and all sorts. So come back.
It's going on for very long, that siren. It went on pretty much the whole way.
Did you have to
through.
press it again?
No, I was turning it down. I was chatting.
I'm sure I could hear it, so it's
This
fine.
is what happens when I don't have my headphones.
Next week, mate, you'll be back on like a DJ, international
on.
DJ.
I didn't realise how long that went on for. I could hear it, though, what you said, so no.
Good.
Right, so spoilers. Here we go. Run, as Connor said, just run or turn it off, and then come back next week.
Yeah,
but just run for
Come back
now.
like this episode.
Yeah, true. Box of scraps. Right, so we all knew people were going to die. James Gunn has not hid that fact. Was anyone shocked at the beginning a little bit?
No.
I'll
tell you exactly why.
I mentioned the fact that there was parallel simultaneous stories going on. There was 2 groups at the start going to the island of Corto Maltese, which literally happened within about 60 seconds. And then when I saw them walking slowly, the shot which we've seen in the trailer, I knew those ones were the ones that are going to die quite soon. But I didn't think that quick. I didn't think it would be the first opening scene. Michael Rooker's character, Javelin dies, the German geezer, I think he's German. I can't remember the guy now, the one that the guns.
Arms.
Nathan Fillion's detachable arm kid. He dies instantly when he gets shot. The arms are getting shot.
That was funny.
And he goes, It's things like that are just crazy.
Even the bit before that, where his little arms go over, he goes,
it's just made no
slaps
sense.
him about a little bit.
And then the guy with the blonde hair, who was ratted them out, who was he got up out of the
Pete Davidson.
That's
isn't
it, Pete Davidson actor. And then so are they all just the woman weird thing that jumped on the helicopter? They're all just dying, and then Michael Rooker goes back, and Amanda Waller explodes. I know what you mean. It's sort of I was shocked.
The only reason I wasn't shocked it was them who died is it's them from the very start, right? And then in all the trailers, you barely saw anything of them. The posters, the main bits is Idris Elba, Shark Boy, King Shark,
all on the
Quinn.
concrete.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
bit.
So it was like these ain't going around for long. When they all went on to like basically D-Day landings in World War II, I thought, no. I thought to be fair, Michael Rooker's character might have got out of it,
Yeah.
but obviously not. But yeah, I wasn't that shocked. But it was great, that bit. 'Cause it showed off the R rating straight away.
It was quite some. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I can see why people would say that it was a bit too gory
Quite
in
gruesome.
some moments. Yeah. I loved it. I know we all loved it, but
Didn't think that at all.
no, when they, bearing in mind we were on a DC, I know DC are dark and have got that stereotype, but like the of Pete Davidson, I can't remember the bloody character's name. Pete Davidson's gets shot in the face.
His face blows off.
Like his his whole face is just exploded off,
Yeah.
and a bird eats it. And yeah, I just thought it was extremely graphic, but he was letting you know straight away I wasn't bullshitting. I said I was going to do a horrible, like gruesome R-rated movie, and that's what you get into strap in sort of thing. So.
Just speaking of birds, I'm jumping a bit, but just speaking of birds, James Gunn, I'm convinced he hates birds.
Oh, that was horrific! That scene.
At the beginning,
Oh, I didn't like that.
at the beginning when he's in the
Throws the ball, yeah.
when he's in the cage, he kills the bird, and then
Other bit you're talking about.
in the scene
you'll
where
remember.
in the on the island when he's in the palace and he burns all the birds.
Oh,
in the bird
yeah,
cage.
yeah,
He
yeah,
burns them all.
yeah. Yeah, that was very unnecessary.
That was
There's no
unnecessary.
need for that.
Yeah,
No
but
need
like
for
you
that.
say, yeah, you've got a thing with birds.
Yeah, I don't think he likes them.
Well, fair enough. I'm trying to think of Guardians now. Any birds? But yeah, so straight away it set the tone instantly, and then it hit us straight away with the 3 days earlier. Jumps back, it explains all of Dubois, Idris Elba's character of Bloodsport, and explains all that, and then shows you the two teams. It was just really, really good in that respect, and yeah, so it was a very good start to a very R-rated gruesome film.
It's a good way, like you said, Con, you liked how it just started off so strong. It's a very good way to do a film like that, start off and then go back and do the slower bit in a minute. And then grab your attention,
and
get
then
you
it
in
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah, I liked it.
So I'm trying to, obviously from then the teams get separated. We're going to come up shortly after this is Craig's, I think, favourite bit.
Yeah, definitely my favourite.
Yeah, so
Really
I'm going
good.
to pass to you in a second. So the two teams are split. Joel Kinnaman, Rick Flag's character, was with Harley Quinn. They are the decoy team. Amanda Waller knew all this, preempted Pete Davidson's character, throwing in the towel on them and ratting them out. So then in comes Bloodsport with Peacemaker, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, etc. Really good team set up, and they are Ratcatcher 2. Really good, and the core of the film, really, until Harley Quinn comes back.
Yeah.
So then we get to this Freedom Fighters, because Corto Maltese is in the middle of an absolute...
Well, we don't know they're freedom fighters.
Yeah,
That's
true.
why the
They could
scene's
be,
good.
yeah. So it's a massive civil war going on here, and there's this woman who's apparently working with Joel Kinnaman's character, Rick Flag, but Peacemaker and Bloodsport do not know that and enter this scene.
Yeah, so there's it's the whole of them are there, and we first see King Shark just swallowing a man whole,
And he goes round all
Yeah.
like he just
sneaks around.
It's really weird.
I think he might be my favourite character. I think he was brilliant. But we see him all enter the camp. You have Ratcatcher doing some stuff with rats. And I don't think Polka... Oh, he does later, doesn't he? He brings down the tower thing.
Yeah.
But the main bit of this is... what's it just? Wasn't African? What's his name?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport and Peacemaker. They're trying to outdo each other by stylishly killing everyone in the camp and making it look like really easy so they can one-up each other, basically. And they go through this whole camp doing some pretty amazing things, really good.
Murdering people, sleeping.
Just murder, just do it. If he just walks along at one point and just gets the axe, goes,
Brilliant.
That is absolutely
That was
fantastic.
and then there's a bit afters where he shoots the guy over his back, and Shelby's like,
Wasn't fatal.
yeah, he wasn't fatal. He goes exploding round, and the kid just blows up. It was all very good, and then the twist when he opens up the tent that Rick Flag is actually just having a cup of tea with them, and they're actually the freedom fighters, and they've murdered their whole squad by accident, basically.
Because why did my team alert me? They're like, oh, I didn't see any. So
and then the shark just pops his head in. A really good scene. I really enjoyed that. And again, as I said at the start, Idris Elba and John Cena bounced off each other so well throughout the whole film, especially that scene as well. They're really good together.
It's
really
a standout for me. Very good scene because again, it just looked fantastic. Everything about it. It balanced comedy and their story of their relationship, which comes full circle, and the R-rated about it. So it balanced everything there. So that's a very good scene.
It's very good. Yeah.
Then I think probably next on is another very good scene with Harley Quinn's back. So she has that went weird for me.
Yes.
So her arc was that she gets with the current Prime Minister, I call him President of this
Presidente.
Presidente, perfect. And because he's watched from afar and etc. You would assume he's watched from afar in Gotham when she's been doing her Harley Quinn shenanigans. And then he's obsessed with her and wants to marry her because he needs a wife. It goes on for probably a little bit longer than it needs to be. And then I wasn't shocked at this point, but it still was a bit of a Jesus moment. They seem to be getting on really well, but he says the wrong thing. That he explains Project Starfish and the monster in the sylum, big concrete sylum, and then says the wrong thing that he sent kids there, and then he turns round and then all of a sudden, bosh, bullet.
I jumped.
Yeah.
I did that thing where I jumped and quickly looked around to the rest of you there and went,
was I the only one?
I didn't see anyone else jump.
Right in the chest, blood coming out. He's on the floor, like confused, blood coming out. And she just simply says, look, I like you, but I've got a red flag with guys now since, and obviously she's talking about Mr. J and Joker. So don't tell Harley Quinn that you kill kids, basically, because she's probably going to shoot
I didn't really think she had that much of a self-conscious.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But then, obviously, kids is the line, I suppose.
Yeah. So whether she's... Because in David Ayer's cut, they end on a good note, so it's not referring to that at all. She's obviously referring to being hurt by the Joker, but we haven't seen that. So,
well, there's a bit in it. I think there's a tattoo on her back which used to be a Joker, and it's sort of scrubbed out.
Oh, is it? I missed that.
It's got something over it. I can't remember what it is now.
So something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense now. I've missed that.
And we didn't have to see Jared Leto Joker. So
exactly. But then. Again, James Gunn mentioned the fact that it was the best scene he'd had fun working with in his career, which was her breakout scene. So Joel Kinnaman, Rick Flag, Bloodsport, King Shark, they're all coming to break her out of this fortress, which is about 50 bods, at least 50 guys. And then she decides to break out herself. The classic old turn around right behind someone who's tied up. That guy makes a fatal mistake.
What a way to go.
Connor explained. Margot Robbie / Harley Quinn's thighs around your neck, squeezing probably isn't the worst way to go.
Absolutely not.
So Connor's going to spend 10 minutes talking about that. But and then just not much to say on it. What did you think of her javelin?
Go on, you take
I
this.
thought this was very good. The choreography was great, and I liked seeing Harley Quinn just kicking off.
Yes,
and because I forgot how accurate she is and how good she is. And it just shows how good she is. It's just, like you say, 50
pole
blokes.
vaulting over.
Yeah, just shooting. She's not even looking. There's one there, bang, one there, bang. You can't see me doing the gun thing, but I'm doing it.
Bang, bang.
Me and Craig are up into duck at the minute.
Pole vaulting, javelin. It's just,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And the bit when the flowers are coming out the back and she just...
My mouth opened. I thought that looked...
Very good.
It looked incredible.
Visually stunning.
We saw it in the trailer, though, that bit.
Yeah,
but
we did,
It did
yeah.
look a lot better in context within the scene.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm trying to think, obviously, now. Then I think it's about... one of my... I loved that seedy little bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that was good,
when, as Craig mentioned, which you can speak about now, what's Polka Dot's drive to be a superhero?
So his mum basically experimented on him on his brothers. Did you say two brothers? Sorry?
Yeah.
Two brothers, and gave them these weird abilities of polka dots and having to sick them up and vomit it out, otherwise he'll die basically. And he really hates his mum. But there's actually the scene before that, but with his mum. Not before. So all the rest of the squad is asking
Straight
him,
after your favourite scene, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, all the squad are asking like, "What's going on with you? Why have you got these polka dots and stuff?" He explains the story, and then basically he just says they ask like, "Where do you see your mum?" or something like that, and he just says everywhere, and it turns back, and you've got Idris Elba as this like 40-year-old woman, glass on, like a typical mum, and you have every one of the squad, even King Shark, with the mum's face and a little skirt on and a cardigan as well. I think he got on, and they're all basically representing the mum. But then as we get through the film, like you said, the seedy little club bit, there's a bit where it cuts to him on the dance floor, and all the people around him like bending over in front of him, twerking around him and dancing around. They're all his mum. He just cannot see anything else but his mum. And it is brilliant.
The slow motion dance and he's waving his hair.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It was so unexpected.
Why is he dancing with his mum?
I don't,
Do you know what I mean?
no, I think his problem is he can't not see her.
Yeah, true.
So I think everything
you think
he just
he'd be
sees.
like, I can't do this, but he's having too good a time.
He is having too good of a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is another.
So unexpected and brilliant.
It
I
was.
proper laughed at it.
And obviously we'll talk about
Yeah.
the major bit we see of a reprise role back in later on. But yeah, so this CD bar, this is another thing why I gave points to James Gunn, because I was harsh coming into this. Like, all right, you're giving it a lot of. You're going for a remake pretty much. I know you've not said it, of this movie. Here we go. You've got the full control. No Snyder cut, or in fact, this is your cut. So you're giving us a comic book movie. Let's have it. And bearing in mind this is villains, the fact that they take no hesitation to have a good time.
Yeah.
Because you would. Why wouldn't you? If you're a villain, yeah, you've got this mission, but I want to drink, and they're all having a good time, and obviously until the army come. But little things like that, I just thought, right, well done, tick box, because you made something little great, and we're talking about it now on this podcast. So little things like that, he's absolutely nailed it.
Because it reminds you they're not heroes, they're villains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what villains do.
exactly that.
Idris Elba tries to stop it for a little bit.
'Cause he's
Just
the
one
military
drink,
man, yeah.
Just one drink, but...
And then he's enjoying it. And I mean, look, it goes over to him, that proper like laddie, isn't there? He goes, yeah. Like him and Rick Flag are like talking. It's just really cool, man.
It was a very good scene.
And then pretty much after that, it's all about Jotunheim.
Yeah.
And
Do you know why it's called that at all?
I think because of Norse mythology, Jotunheim is something to do with locked or something, or like safe, or like, you know, because obviously that's one of the 9 realms, isn't it, in Thor? But Jotunheim is, I don't think they've obviously used it in Marvel as a planet, but I think it's more in Norse mythology. There's loads of other versions of it and stuff like that. So it's called. They actually do explain it in the film why they call it Jotunheim, and I can't remember. He actually says something, the Presidente. But yeah, so they go to Jotunheim, which is Starro's prison.
Yeah.
And then one character we've not mentioned. What did you think of Peter Capaldi as the Thinker?
Fine.
Yeah, it didn't stand out to me. I mean, he did, when they got to Jotunheim, he did stand out a bit more. You could see a bit more of him, what it was about. But before that, he was just a bit...
The only... I agree with you both. The only thing I will say, he had one of the best lines in the movie.
Go on.
Ratcatcher 2, after they get him out the CD bar, goes, do you want a rat? If you don't we'll come this way, you'll get a rat up your ass. Do you want a rat up your ass? And he goes, the answer isn't going to be what you expect.
It was pretty good to me.
But yeah, anyway. So yeah, he was sort of pinnacle to this because they've been using him. And the twist of the matter is, which you will explain in a second about, because you both, I can see why it maybe wasn't needed a little bit. But the twist is that this was an American base, didn't want to do it on US soil, so they've gone over to here on Corto Maltese, and they used the Thinker to enhance their projects, to try and experiment on this alien species, which is clearly very powerful. So should we talk about that twist, because that was a major part.
See, I don't think it was. That's my problem with it. I don't think it was a major part.
No, fair point.
It's not, like, obviously the twist is there's a hard drive and Peacemaker's actually on against them, and not against them, he's still doing the same mission, but he needs to take that back and ensure for Amanda Waller that this doesn't get out to the public. And then there's a bit of a scuffle, and then that's it, really. There isn't, I don't really, a twist is normally like a huge thing for a film where there's no going back, and you know, it's something completely changes direction. It doesn't, because after the bit where, you know, Peacemaker is killed or seemingly killed, and Idris Elba's now got the hard drive, it isn't really about that twist. It's just about stopping the big starfish.
Yeah,
go on.
Go on.
I was just going to say, I thought if that bit wasn't in the film, it wouldn't have made any difference.
I suppose it set it well to split the team, because obviously Peacemaker and Rick Flag had the fight, and then Rick Flag died. Peacemaker killed Rick Flag, which was a big shock to me, because I thought...
That was.
I thought surely he's not going to kill him, because they've been working all this time together, and then he kills him. I was like, fucking hell, that's a bit of a shock. And then obviously Idris Elba, Bloodshot, finds out, and they have a battle as well, and it just split the team, and that was quite shocking to me, because I thought this team's been through all of this. They're in the bar just a minute ago, drinking and having a laugh, and now they're killing each other because of this hard drive.
Definitely see what Craig's saying, but I do agree that was my point that I put
Yeah,
down.
you're right.
It's the fact that it's another one of James Gunn going, oh, remember, they're villains
and
stuff like that, and it breaks up that team when you're like, hang on, I thought this was a team coming together, and then it also, for me, enhanced Bloodsport a little bit because I thought that was fantastic when he was coming through the floors, and then obviously he saw his daughter in Ratcatcher. It was his daughter. He saw his daughter there basically because he said earlier on that you remind me of her, and I'm going to get you off of this island and stuff. So when they had that stare down, that was really cool and it enhanced. Bloodsport's a hero. He's probably the only hero in that. Ratcatcher, I don't know what her game is, but she had as conscious. You can see that. But yeah, so I do agree with Craig. I wouldn't call it a big twist. So I'll take that back, but it did enhance some bits that I liked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so and that's pretty much it. They're just are they just exploding? They're just they turn out to just plant all these things down, Semtex or C4, whatever, to explode all this stuff, and then that's their whole purpose.
Was their goal to actually set the starfish free?
I don't know. Did they know it was? Yeah, they knew it was a starfish at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know what their plan was, or was it try and kill it? And
were they going to bury it? But then it got out anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is. What
I didn't think about this until right this moment.
This is what I was saying. The end bit, I was a bit like,
well, you've got a point.
I'm not sure what the plan was.
Yeah, what's your goal?
Because they was meant to go in there and
just get the data away so that no one could prove it was American.
Yeah. So why blow it up if they got the hard drive out?
True that.
Yeah.
Was it to get away from the army?
I don't know.
Yeah, because they didn't have a. I think. Well, this isn't it. I don't think they actually cared. Amanda Waller didn't care about that starfish getting out. All she wanted was that drive to say they ain't in trouble.
Yeah, but
so
only a couple of the team actually knew about the hard drive thing.
So
Idris Elba
right.
blowing
That
it
seemed
all
to
up.
be right. Get in there and then off we go. So I've not
because the others who stayed above, like
Shark,
King Shark, Idris Elba. Yeah, I keep calling him Idris Elba, Bloodsport and Harley Quinn and all that.
Yeah,
they didn't know about the hard drive bit.
Yeah,
just blew it up.
No. Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, but still, it was good because the big starfish was a good bit. good to be fair.
Again, it looked great.
It did look good. It did look good.
Don't know how you done it, but there was moments I was like, oh my god, what am I watching?
Yeah.
But yeah, we get to it, and the whole point of it we just mentioned about Peacemaker, and that was brilliantly visual with the bullet going through one of Peacemaker's exploding bullets, which he says earlier in the film that smaller bullets. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was cool, and you sort of now rooting for Idris Elba.
Yeah,
and then they become the good guy. They decide to go, do you know what? Fuck you, Amanda Waller. She's screaming and spitting everywhere.
To say
turn around now because she's like, leave. You've got the data. Leave.
Yeah. And then absolutely clarted.
It's a golf club. It's a golf club, isn't it?
It's, and then the sort of analyst crew and Steve Agee who and in there and stuff, and they clart Amanda Waller because she's going to kill Bloodsport. And they're walking back. They're going, you know what, fuck this. We're going to save the town. So yeah, let's finish it off. We'll come on to DC's future maybe after, but let's finish off with the Starro final battle scene. Just give me any thoughts on it. It was crazy, weird. Sort of struggling to believe at points, but what did you think?
I wondered how they
got away with it.
I wondered how they can't keep getting away because they got the weird little starfish come out the side, which was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah,
the little starfish coming out the side, it weren't very great.
Yeah,
I didn't like seeing that. But they're attached to people's faces. But then people had no interest in like harming Suicide Squad or Team X, wherever they were. They were just, I don't know where they was going really. They was just sort of walking. And then when they started attacking, they sort of started turning. But it was, I don't know. It was a scene that was good, but I don't know if it was great.
Yeah, this is why I went down a little bit because the last bit.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, because the way they end it is bloodshot's out of bullets and it's all looks like everything's done. Harley Quinn's got knocked off the building.
Before you say what you say, let's go back to Polka Dot Man. Because Bloodsport looks at him and says, what does he say?
He does a very Captain America Avenger moment because he shouts, he goes, Harley Quinn, high, go higher.
Yeah.
And then he goes, King Shark, nom nom.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Polka Dot Man, that's your mum. And then
we turn around and it's what? 50, no, it's more than 50 foot. Whatever the size of the starfish is, it's just a big Polka Dot Man mum, and still with a little coat and glasses, kicking with a little weird clog shoes on and skirt, and that was weirdly brilliant. Bit. But then what you're going to say is probably what I agree with now.
Yeah, so the way that they destroy this big starfish is Ratcatcher 2 uses their powers for the rats, and about 1 billion rats are just running through this town. And that's because Starfish says, this is my town, and she says, no, it's not, it's their town. All of a sudden you see the rats. That's really cheesy.
That was a
really cheesy line.
In this film where there was funny and weird moments that was probably the only bit I cringed at.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. And then the rats just start climbing up this starfish and she's going absolutely mental, just tearing away. And then Harley Quinn knows why she's got the spear because she was given it by that German geezer.
Javelin, yeah.
Runs in, just pierces the eye, and then she's in the eye in the water. That was quite a good scene. I liked seeing that.
I did.
Visually, that was good.
Again, inside a massive starfish eye, and it looked great. I don't know.
And the little rats are swimming about.
Nibbling away.
Yeah. Having a go.
What you'd assume is just the veins in the eyes or the retinas.
Then that's
weird.
it. Dead. Starfish is dead. It was an odd way to destroy the starfish.
Well, I mean, I don't know the anatomy of a starfish, but is the heart in the centre? I would imagine it probably is.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
No idea.
But at the end of the day, it was a load of rats fighting starfish, a big starfish. So you don't need to question the logic.
Yeah. And then the final bit is that Bloodsport uses the drive to make Amanda Waller set them free. So they're now out there. James Gunn is probably a good segue on.
There's not many left.
So
Polka Dot Man gets smushed.
Gets absolutely smushed. So yeah, I mean, just as a film, just to clarify, and you're maybe like a one line each. Just go start with you, Con. One line, just the film as a whole. We've gone through the major scenes. You've said your ratings and stuff, but what was the film to you then?
Action packed, fun watch, weird, wonderful.
Fair enough. Tough to beat, Craig.
I'm trying to think of different analogies.
Outstanding, maybe.
I'll say good fun, great cast, great bunch of characters, and I really like King Shark. But little bit let down in the final, but doesn't really ruin the film for me at all.
I agree with all the comments. Annoyingly, I wish I could say you're wrong, but I do agree. Now just a quick one. Would you prefer this? So I think the answer is going to be yes, but would you prefer this the way Disney, this the way DC go in terms of, look, there's your filmmaker, trust him. I think Snyder Cut done a lot more for DC than people realise.
Yeah.
You're not probably going to get your Snyderverse, still hope, but you're probably not going to get that. But what it maybe has done is woken up the new people that are coming in as well as the new people that are there at the minute to say, look, give your filmmakers the chance, stop mimicking Disney and Marvel, what they're doing, and just do your standalone weird films because your roster at DC is incredible.
Yeah.
So just do that. So yeah, I don't know what you think about that.
I think they've got to just say to the director, give them the keys to the car and just go.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I still think they have to have if they're going to make, Warner Brothers are very clearly all about their money.
Yes.
Why Justice League failed so badly. But if they want to make a universe, they still need to get someone in charge, like a Kevin Feige for them.
Agreed.
But it's quite clear they've seen with Aquaman, Shazam, and now this is them three alone a very different direction to what they did before, and them three have all worked. Shazam was brilliant and funny, not fantastic, great, good film, good fun film. Aquaman made over $1 billion, and this, I think, well, during pandemic maybe not, but this is probably has its potential to make the most money out of everything they've done so far because they have embraced the more, dare I say it, colourful side. And stop making everything grey and boring.
Yeah.
That's what I
Black Adam's going to be a very different tone to those three films you've listed.
Yeah.
So you feel like you've got
I don't know. He's got to be within the Shazam.
Yeah.
He's like the main villain between Shazam. Is it? That's right, isn't it?
No, it is, yeah. So they will connect without
they've got-
shadow of a doubt.
I don't think that'll be the same tone as Shazam.
No, maybe not. It may be in the seat. Well,
I think you're
Probably
both
are right,
I think
actually,
you're
but-
both right. It has to connect as Craig
They
said,
can't make it too
and
different.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be in
So
it.
I think a lot of Black Adam will be in the past as well, though. So they're going to get that luckiness, so that they can be a little bit maybe darker, like is going to come.
Yeah.
And he is an anti-hero that kills. They've already said he kills a lot of people in this. That Haram Garcia confirmed it. So it is going to be a PG-13 though, so it will be in some moments tone wise. But yeah, I just think I sort of watched a YouTube thing earlier, and apparently they've said the same thing to Matt Reeves with the Batman. That's why that's looking amazing. They said we're not going to do no oversight. Do what you want. They said it to James. James Gunn's been very open. I've had no oversight.
You applied to that David Ayers
Yeah.
thing, say that this is all mine. I didn't.
all mine.
know
No, they've
interference.
not said no to anything, which you would assume they definitely didn't after what we got. So,
Yeah.
And even Andy Muschietti, apparently he's getting no oversight with his Flash film. So I think that's the one, Craig, you're right on. That they're going to use that Flash film to spawn a universe and get the money in through the Justice League universe, and they will just carry on with the Batman, Joker, Suicide Squad, one-off films. Just will probably make $1 billion.
It's just as if previous films they've done, they didn't really understand the character.
Yeah.
Like Batman is the one you always do, dark, gloomy,
Yep.
and there's never any sun in Gotham. That's what you do. Superman doesn't need to be a dark film.
No.
Superman is very much the Captain America type.
Yep.
Where he's
Completely agree.
bright coloured, he's the beacon of hope.
Yep.
And Metropolis is always lovely.
Yep.
So, but with this,
Halfway between Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill, they
Yep.
needed to find that ground.
Yeah.
Brandon Roth sort of thing.
Perfect.
But I always liked it. Not so much Kevin Spacey. But I think they've finally found a way to move forward with this sort of style.
Agreed.
Good.
Cool.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Wrapped up.
Let's fly because we're running out of time.
Oh,
Good idea. Yeah.
What's on our screens?
yeah.
No jingle?
No jingle. Do you know what? Every week, I know we say no jingle, but I am always waiting for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, go on.
2 bits I'm watching. My screens have been heavily filled with the Olympics
Okay.
because this is all on at the minute. Great Britain doing well, 43 medals. so
Weirdly, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
fair play.
How many goals we got? Do you know?
Nah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
About 20, I think.
Oh.
Doing well, doing all right. Yeah. And Sopranos.
Oh, yes.
I finished
yeah.
season 2. It's fantastic.
Doing
man.
well.
It's fantastic.
You've done me. I think I'm going to start this.
You have powered through that as well.
Yeah, I watch it during work. But I was thinking, when I was watching it,
Shh, your boss could be listening.
but all I was thinking is like a lot of this series is either talking to his shrink or he's in his house. There's not much that really happens, but it's just captivating.
Yeah.
The shrink bits are some of the best
Yeah.
bits of the whole series.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on my screens.
Fair play. Do you want to go?
Yep, I'll give you my weekly Bad Batch
Love it.
update. This one was a bit better than fine.
Yay.
I actually quite like this one. Although I'm saying it now, I can't actually remember what happened in it. But
We're getting close to the end now, aren't we?
I don't even know an episode. I think it's 16.
Yeah.
I think that's 13, maybe. This one was actually pretty good. It is ramping up to be. I do remember now. It was the bust out prison bit. But one of them gets captured and he's with Crosshairs, who's gone back to normal. But this was good. It's good. The overall series is fine. But something I did start watching, which I don't think either of you have actually watched, was Rick and Morty.
I have
And
watched it.
I've watched first 4 series.
Oh,
The series
fine.
5, I'm
Oh, no, I
watching
haven't
through the.
watched it. No.
But I watched the first 2 today. They're just as weird and funny as any others. I hadn't watched it in ages.
Yeah.
And it was a new series that started in June. And this, I've watched the first 2 episodes. They're brilliant. I really like them.
I'll watch it.
And one more. Superman Lois, fully up to date. With I think episode 13, and then there's a weird 2-week break. We ain't getting the next one till August.
Oh, another
10th.
one.
Another break.
Yeah, because this one come out on July 23rd or whenever it was.
Yeah.
And the next one's not till August 10th. So 'cause I thought I'll leave 2 weeks and I can watch 2 weeks once. I watched 13. I think it's
Yeah,
13.
Yeah. That's what I've watched.
Yeah, and now the last 2, 14 and 15 are coming back August 10th and then August 17th, I suppose. Fun after. But you've watched it at 13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my screen. Yeah, I watched Superman last. Really enjoyed it. The last 2 episodes, especially 13, really good. So it's left off again in a good.
Why? I don't get it though. Why
don't
is
know
it all
what's
blue?
going- I don't know
Why's
what's
it all blue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually don't know what that is.
No. Unsure.
There is such a thing as blue kryptonite. So I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know. So
Is this a character from the comics?
I've never heard it. So obviously,
Yeah.
there's House Zor-El, and then there's Zod family, but I don't know who this is. He doesn't seem to be related to any like cousin or anything. I've never heard of Superman's half brother.
I am liking. I can never remember his name, but the guy who was originally a Luthor, the black guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's his name called? John in it or something? Isn't he? John,
Yeah, something
something,
like
like that.
I did like that when they fought the woman, Supergirl woman.
Yeah.
and they had that little brotherly tap.
Bosh,
Bosh.
because he shoots the rocket and he goes nice.
He
nice
pushes
shot.
him up in the head and shoots it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
pretty
like
good.
that. That's pretty good.
So I think it's gonna. Well, we'll see what the finale if it can push any higher. But yeah, good series. Yeah. And then just quick, I've had a lot of time on my hands, so I've completely gone through DC Titans Series 1 and 2 again. It's a good show.
It is very good, yeah.
So I've just done that in preparation for Season 3 coming in a couple of weeks. And then lastly, The Long Halloween Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's just got to give your hats off to DC animation. It's just phenomenal. Really, really good. Recommended watch. Really dark. It's very sort of gangstery, Italian mob, etc. with the Falcone family. It's very, very good. And I got a sneak peek at Injustice, the DC animated movie.
That trailer leaked, didn't it?
Yeah, leaked on it. Yeah. So the animation looks a bit weird.
I thought that.
Yeah, not what I'm used to. I mean, we'll see it. We know the story's good, so that's we'll wait and see on that one.
Just a quick update. I forgot to say, I finished Series 3 and now I'm on to Trinity Killer of Dexter.
Really
Yeah. Do you remember the first instance you see John Lithgow as Trinity Killer? I've forgotten. It's really fucking weird.
No.
So he's just quick.
The woman in she's in the bath, isn't she? You think it's his house?
Yeah, well, she's not in the bath.
He's naked.
I thought,
yeah.
And he's like setting up a little bathtub, running his water. And I thought, I don't remember what happened here. And then he's fully naked and just grabs the bird, strips her down naked, gets in the bathroom, he's all cuddling and kissing her. And then he holds a little mirror, like, so he can see her face, and just slices the artery in her leg and just sits there while she's bleeding out. I was like, I completely forgot.
He makes you think it's his house, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was him just running the bath. I was like, I don't remember this at all. But anyway, yeah. This is the best series.
Bunch of scraps!
Right, barn.
Is that a great bun? I've got 3 scraps today. So first scrap, Pam and Tommy's rap filming.
Oh, yeah.
So that's coming soon.
She does good, doesn't she?
She does. Good. For the Criminal Minds fans, there are some out there. The revival that was going to Paramount is dead.
Oh, dear.
Likely dead. That's from one of the stars of the show. And Matt Damon's come onto a bit of fire, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. About the F word.
Yeah. Apparently he's just retired the homophobic slur, the F word. Just retired it, and they're saying, like, that's a bit bad. I think he used it recently.
Why would you come out and say that?
I don't know.
It's a weird thing to come out and say.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was caught online or anything. I think he volunteered that.
I think it's being interviewed. I think he said in an interview. He said, my daughter's been teaching me about like words I shouldn't use, and I've just recently retired this word. And they said, like, well, you probably should have done that a little while ago, Matt.
Yeah,
poor bloke.
Cheers for telling us, though. Good story.
That's me.
Cool. I've only got one scrap. Some more details come out about the Predator film. So weird one. It's going to be similar to, and this is from the director, similar to Revenant. It's going to follow the...
I don't think it will be.
It's going to follow the... I assume what he means by that is era of age when it was set.
Yeah.
It's going to follow the first Predator's journey to Earth. So it shouldn't be that advanced, maybe, because then otherwise how will they beat it anyway? Has a female lead.
Mud.
Mud. Yeah,
Just like Arnie.
It's titled Skull, and it's still uncertain whether it's going to be R-rated or PG-13. They're not sure.
Do it R-rated.
Yeah.
Why not?
Literally that.
Ain't it a woman Predator, or is it a woman main?
No, the lead of the woman
okay.
of the humans that are going to rise up and mud herself.
I have one.
We'll think about if that's worthy to stay on or not.
I have one that you might be interested in. It just happened when we was doing this. So the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air drama reboot.
Yeah.
That's at Peacock. Well, it's now got rid of its current writers and directors, and it's changing over to someone else. That's never a good sign.
No, it's not.
I'd
be dead soon.
I don't think this is a good idea to do it anyway. I don't know why they're doing it, but yeah, they've changed writers and directors. So.
They'll be dead in the water soon.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
That's the show.
That's the show. Yeah. Oh yeah, so check us out. So check us out on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube at Weekly Cut, and we'll be back next week with Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
Apparently it's good. Brad's always seeing it. Do you want to give a little tease?
It's a family movie that's got some problems.
Okay, well, if you want to hear exactly what that is, come back next week. And that'll about do it, I think. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Bye.
Bye.